Well, hello everybody. This is our first episode of our Curse of Strahd campaign, Ravenloft Misfits. We are so excited to get started, but before we start, let's do a quick introduction. I am Jonny. I will be the DM for this campaign. I've been DMing for about 5 years now, ish, give or take. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember when I started, but anyways, I digress.
It's been a while.
I have always wanted to run Curse of Strahd on a stream, and I am just super excited to run this module along with the glorious homebrew that I have found on both the community and myself. Yeah, Ryan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Ryan. I am, I guess, the creative director of Talking XP as well as our lead editor. So I'm excited that after a couple months of work, of lining all of the stuff up for this project, that we were able to start it. And hopefully you guys can enjoy our journey through Barovia. So,
Zack, how about you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Zack. I'll be playing Katya in this campaign. And yeah, there's been a lot of build up for this, a lot of work going into it, and super excited to get started. Should be fun.
Yep, I think so. Sabrina.
Hi, I'm Sabrina. I'll be playing Blaire, and I'm also Talking XP's artist. I did all the character art, and yeah, that's me.
And Joel.
Hi, I'm Joel. I'm going to be playing Johans. He's awesome, and I'm just really happy to be here.
And finally, Sara.
Hi, Internet. I am Sara. I've been a D&D player for about 7 years now, and I'm glad to join the Talking XP team. I'm going to be playing Estella, the Drow Elf Paladin.
Right on. Well, with the intros out of the way, let's talk about the stream itself. Ravenloft Misfits will be streaming each Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, excluding the last Monday of each month, which will be reserved for our one-shot of the month, where we will be doing a one-shot that we find in the community that we want to highlight. If you haven't yet seen one of them, go ahead and check out our YouTube, where we have all of the different one-shots ready to be watched in all of their glory. But with that said, please make sure to follow us on Twitch, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and participate in chat. We really want to build a great community here around TTRPGs in general, and we would love to hear from you. So with that, if you also stick around, you can earn bits, which we call experience points here, and this XP can be used to give our players some inspiration dice, and even force myself, the DM, to re-roll a roll. Each player can have up to 1 inspiration dice at a time. However, the dice can be upgraded, so there's a D4, which can be replaced with a D6, which can then be replaced with a complete reroll or advantage, if you will. But yeah, go ahead and either save up your bits for that or cheer us on, whatever you want to do. But with that out of the way, we do want to talk about our sponsors for this campaign. First of all, we would like to thank our main sponsor, which is Roll20. If you're watching this stream and looking for a way to get together with your friends online, Roll20 is a great answer to that. We've been using it even before we even started Talking XP, and we love it. It's a lot of fun, super easy to use, and we're using it for this stream. So if you want to check them out, go ahead and check out roll20.net, and you can type !Roll20 in the chat if you want a direct link, which is already in the chat. And next, we want to thank Syrinscape for allowing us to use their awesome app that is filled with epic sounds that you are currently hearing right now. The music that is very true to the Barovian experience. If you are interested,
they're hearing it now. I had Syrinscape muted, so it is now all fixed.
Now we have Syrinscape going, and you can hear the awesome music and sounds that are inside of Syrinscape. If you are interested, the links are now in the chat where you can follow our link. You can also follow our attributions page where we have a list of all of the ones that we are going to be using in this campaign. And yeah, you can just get your own Curse of Strahd campaign going with your own Sirenscape. So anyways, check them out. Next, we have Skull Splitter Dice, who we are affiliated with. It's an awesome TTRPG store. You can follow the link in the chat to support our page and get some awesome TTRPG stuff. They even have a Metal D100, which I'm gonna have to get. It.
You're gonna
But
break down
anyways,
and get it.
follow the link and go check them out.
Can
And
we
then
just get a quick check on the chat for people who are watching? How's the connection sounding? Because I keep getting slight interference with Zoom, and I just want to make sure that you guys aren't having hopefully a terrible experience watching. Because otherwise we might have to quickly reset. But I just want to.
Yeah, looks like some of us are freezing every once in a while.
But
I'm dropping out of seeing the stream on my end, see if that helps.
yes,
Hopefully
that
it
works.
does. That'd be good. But it sounds like the audio is good. So
That's good, because on my end through Zoom, you kept cutting out every now and then. So
okay, so
Um,
it looks like it's okay. And then Radical Rectangle says it's not so great on his end.
Hi, Daniel.
All right. Well,
What's up, bud?
I think we're gonna have to just kind of go with it for now.
Yeah.
Just
So-
soldier on.
It's first episode, something's got to go wrong, right?
Yeah.
But moving on to our next affiliate, we are affiliated with Phineas Coffee for Gamers. I personally got the Champions Blend, and I have a nice little cup right here. And it's really great coffee. You should go and buy a bag there. You can use the code TALKINGXP all together to get 10% off your order. Everything is in the chat as well, so go ahead and follow that. And lastly, if any of you are a part of an organization or company that want to be involved with Talking XP, hit us up. We have an email, talkingxp@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, and we're open to partnerships. So with that, I want to just start off with a content warning stating that, hey everybody, Curse of Strahd is a horror game. There are going to be topics that may trigger traumatic experiences. We are sorry that is a thing, but we do recommend that you take care of yourself if something is triggering, and we completely understand and respect if you need to step away. That is totally fine. Make sure to take care of yourself. That's really the biggest issue. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. So,
Hooray.
let's see.
All right.
Let's move on into the next phase of our Sirenscape.
The part where we die.
Oh, no.
Where you die.
Eventually. Wait, but
All
no.
right.
Wait, hold on. That's also not the spirit.
So, the sounds of leaves rustle and a light wind. Animal sounds echo throughout the forest, some far, many near. A sense of claustrophobia begins to set in as you realize that your vision is confined to only 2 feet around you due to the heavy mist. It's like standing in a dark room where beasts abound just outside. Each of you have found yourselves wandering in this unknown forest for some way or another. And as each of you wander through the mist, you find an orange glow ahead, pulsing like a heartbeat. As you begin to approach, the mist lessens with each step until it completely dissipates, creating a small sanctuary. However, you all see other figures approaching at the same time, finding this mistless haven. Let's describe what we see. Ryan, would you like to start with describing your character?
Yeah, as you guys look around the group, you notice that one of them is draped in very weathered, worn clothes, very tattered. You notice that this humanoid creature has no shoes of any kind, and they look very displaced, I guess, for lack of better words. And you can see as you look upon his skin illuminated by the firelight here that he has a very pale blue, almost ghostly complexion with fairly white hair, kind of more of like a silvery white that's kind of matted and kind of shaggy, I guess, almost. And I guess I will do this because this makes sense to do it here. Huzzah. But yeah, you see me walking forward with tattered clothing as I kind of cautiously look at you.
Perfect. All right. Zack, what do we see on your end?
You see a sort of tall woman in her mid-20s with long, like shoulder-cut black hair, armored and cloaked with a sword and a shield, and she comes forward sort of, what's the word? Like cautious, but interested,
Okay. Sabrina, what do we see coming from your corner?
You see a fairly small, petite, girl, with long golden hair and equally as golden eyes. She is dressed in petticoat and regalia, looks kind of fancy, cool hat. And she is approaching hesitantly with her halberd at the ready.
All right. And Joel.
You see what at first glance appears to be a small child,
we got a lot of children on this campaign.
followed by a 1 foot taller owl. But upon closer inspection, it's just a very confused adult halfling who just looks around cautiously at everyone, trying to figure out what's going on.
And finally, Sara.
Yeah, this tall, at first purple-looking elf woman, but then you realize it's a high elf with just sort of black and purple fused into her skin, and platinum white hair draped back into intricate braids that fall along the back of her middle of her back. Excuse me, and she's got silvery blue eyes and sort of a dancer's frame underneath a layer of armor with a huge seal of a woman on her shield and over her breastplate, and carrying this big thick bag and a little glittering image of on her pendant that you can't quite make out. And she's just looking inquisitively at everyone, and her sword blade is glowing out from where it's sheathed on her hip.
So, as our motley crew of misfits begin to approach this campfire, you find only the sound of the mist going by and trees moving in the wind. You hear crows cawing and every once in a while a wolf howling. You hear the crackling of the fire just in front of you. What do you all do?
I look at everybody else, and as you guys kind of gaze on me closer, you see that I'm not carrying looks like to be anything on me other than just my clothes on my back. And I kind of just look at each of you. Forgive me for asking, but are you all real?
I believe I'm real. More importantly, what are children doing out here? Where are your parents? Are you okay? I look over at Blaire and Johans and I'm like, are you guys all right? Do you need help?
Oi, I ain't no child.
That makes
I'm
two of us,
perfectly
yeah.
independent.
I'm not a child either. Just
Forgive me.
short, but thank you. That's
Your statue. Well,
I think we can all lower our weapons. No harm is gonna come to us here. We're all just strangers in the dark.
Jahaz is going to gesture behind him, and the owl just kind of lowers her head.
Yeah, I'll lower my sword.
I kind of keep my distance from everybody still, and you can kind of see that I'm kind of like covering my hands a little bit, and keeping them very close.
My halberd's back at my side, and it's a good, like, foot or so taller than me.
Well, if we mean each other no harm, my name is Katya. Who are all of you?
The name's
I am-
Blaire.
One at a time, please.
I'm Estella. And she'll take a seat at, like, I guess there's like a log in front of the fire that
Which
we
is
can
weird.
rest on.
It looks like this is a campfire that was made prior by somebody else, but is still a roaring fire. It's inviting yet disturbing at the same time.
Is this one of your guys' campsites? Or
No, I just saw it
Yeah.
in the distance. Can I take a look around to see if anybody's like off? Like anybody who would have made this campfire has walked away or would be coming back or anything?
Depending on the roll, either perception or survival, whichever one you want to do.
Okay, I'll do a hot
First roll,
survival.
first
First
roll.
roll,
Hell yeah,
first roll. Nat
first roll.
one, nat one. Let's
nat
go.
one.
No.
18.
That's a good roll. That's a good
That's
roll.
pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
So, kind of looking around, you see that there is signs of people from before. Whoever made this camp is obviously gone. You kind of look at a few of the twigs and broken branches on the ground and see that there is actually a pathway that leads away from the campfire.
Can I tell how long ago that was? Like
Within
a long time
18?
ago or not, or like recent?
Within 18, you can't really see exactly when. It doesn't look extremely recent, but it doesn't look like ancient, you know?
It's not
I mean,
fresh, is what I'm asking.
Right, it's not
Okay.
fresh, no.
Okay, so I'll look at that and I'll say, well, whoever made this took off a while ago. They went over there. I like point off at the path. It seems they've been gone for quite some time. I don't know how this fire would keep burning.
On that
No.
cue, I'm going to walk up to the fire and I want to, I don't know, check it, see what's going on with it.
Detect magic,
Sure.
arcana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take a seat at the fire also.
go ahead and do an investigation, we'll say.
Yes, sir. Can I give myself help with my owl?
Sure, why not? I mean,
Okay,
mechanically,
cool.
yes.
You said investigation, yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, didn't
that
even need
was-
the advantage anyways.
Wait, well, I'll do it again just in case. Again.
Go for it.
One.
And there it is. Yeah. Okay. The
Hell
only
yeah.
roll that could have been better. A natural 20. All right. Well,
First one of the
Oh my
campaign.
God.
Let's go.
Third
roll.
Right.
anyways. All right.
Just wasted a
Man.
natural 20.
So with that, you are able to figure out that this is definitely a normal fire. It looks like, against what Katya has just said, this wood seems to be freshly put and started. So it's like this camp was here before, but now no longer is somebody here. Okay, so it looks like there is a trail that left that is older, but it's fresher of a fire pit. Sorry, my attention went somewhere else. ADHD at its finest.
I understand. So basically, the trails in the fire aren't the same age. The fire is
Correct.
newer than the trail.
It seems to be that way, yes.
It would appear the fire is a little bit newer than the trail you're mentioning.
How can that be? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm getting notifications on Zoom saying my internet's unstable right now. I don't know why.
It's fine. Just roll with it. The show
Yeah.
must go on.
As long as our audio is
Where's that
good.
voice coming from?
Chat, let us know if the audio ever is unable
Unbearable?
to be heard. You know, yeah, unbearable is the word.
At least we have
Hopefully
captions.
that helps.
Yeah.
We do have
Yeah,
captions.
we got captions.
So, anyways,
which
You were saying?
actually is not working right now. What the heck?
Oh,
I
cool.
love it.
Oof. We'll get
Give us
our
one
stuff
second.
figured out.
Dang,
All right.
Lambert.
Should be working now. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why it turned off. All right. As you guys were looking at the fire, I was going to walk up and sit down on the very edge, as far away from the rest of you as I can. My name is Grimm.
Nice
At
to
least
meet you,
I
Grimm.
think it is. But
You think?
it's... I just only remember bits and pieces since I've been in this fog. Or mist, or whatever this is.
Well, take your time. It will come back.
Well, since we're all getting acquainted, and Estella would open up her pack and start handing out water or like dried meats or fruits to anybody who needs sustenance.
I'll politely decline, thank you. He actually says that, by the way. That's not me. speaking with
Thank
the
you.
name, that's a character.
No offense,
I
man.
appreciate it.
As you all try to get comfortable, it's almost like the mist knows. Quickly, as you sit and begin to pass around food, the fire goes out. And you begin to see the rolling mist begin to creep closer and closer to you. However, Katya, you notice this first. That trail that you had seen before. A doorway, a corridor of mist opens up.
I immediately get up and draw my sword.
Yeah. And as you draw your sword, it's a stark difference from the silence, at least slight silence, of the forest around you as your sword comes out, kind of sparking a little bit as you bring it around. Sure. All of you get at the
I-
ready.
I stand up as well.
Yeah, I'm sure I draw everyone's attention to this thing just by what I'm doing, and I don't say anything. I'm just waiting for whatever this entails.
So much for a picnic. And Estella will pack everything back.
I don't think there's going to be much time for picnics out here.
I don't think it's gonna be wise to stay in this mist. I also don't
Can I?
like the idea of going down this path.
I
but-
certainly do not want to go down this path or through this door. Can I pick up a stick and like throw it through the door?
Well, it's not a door. It's just like a
You said it.
corridor.
Oh, you meant like it's like an
Corridor.
arch,
Like
in
a
the-
hallway.
Man, you really scared the shit out of me. I thought a door
not-
popped up in the fucking. Really freaked me out.
Similes.
Kingdom Hearts had just
I heard
opened. in front
door.
of
Yeah,
them.
dude. I
Right.
thought it was like.
Right.
Dude, my last
No,
character
it
had
is-
magic doors popping up all over the place. You got me like confused.
It is not a door.
Okay,
It
so
is
it's a clearing in the mist going down the path.
clearing of the mist
Okay,
that
that's much less
continues
scary.
on. Yeah.
My bad.
If it helps, I can scout ahead for us if that's necessary.
You or your bird?
Yes.
Both is good.
Send it ahead, but I
Send
think it's
the wee
best if
one
we
through
go
the
move- if we
corridor.
start moving.
Is this mist kind of creeping in on us? You said.
Yeah. No, it's like so you had the circle of the campfire and like
That changes
the
things.
corridor opens up to the left-hand side and the mist is like urging you towards
All right.
it.
I don't
It's
think
like
we
it-
have
it
time
knows
to,
who you
I
are.
to
think we
scout,
better
unfortunately.
Get moving. Follow me, and I'll start
Alright.
walking down and take the
I
lead.
follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stand in
I'll
the
ta-
middle of the group in the most
Sounds good.
safe position.
Yep. You're the hot dog in the bun.
That's right.
Well,
Proud hot dog.
as you come to this road, you find that it is well traveled. You see wagon wheel tracks cut deep into the ground, along with miscellaneous animal tracks here and there. The mists part even further, revealing a road ahead. The path that you had taken just before seems to be completely covered. And you see only one way ahead.
Is the mist encompassing us like all around, like a sphere around us? Or is it or like if
No,
I
I think
look
we
up
can
and
see
see the
a-
stars?
Say that again?
Is the mist covering all around us, or can I look up and see the stars?
It is covering to where you cannot even see the stars. No. Yeah.
Yeah, at that clarification, Estella would start looking a lot more concerned about pressing onward.
Sure. So, as each of you begin to follow this road, you see black pools of water standing like dark mirrors in and around the muddy roadway. Giant trees loom on both sides of the road like branches clawing at the mist. You travel here for about half an hour until you finally see in front of you this.
I'm also traveling in the back.
Sure.
Which also, so how do we want to handle this? Because right now we're on the role play section.
Sure.
No one else can see this.
Oh,
handout.
Gotcha. Right. It's a handout. I'm about to describe it. It is jutting from this giant forest on both sides of the road. You see high stone walls looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang from the stonework, and dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. You see 2 headless statues of armed guardians flanking the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds of their feet. They greet you only with silence. And as you approach these gates, heavy groans begin to emanate from these gates as they slowly begin to swing open at your approach.
Does
That
this
doesn't look
normally
normal.
happen when you go places?
Not typically, no. None of this has been typical. What do we see beyond the gates?
More mist. And a road.
I should have known.
That's not scary at all.
Any better ideas than moving forward?
I mean, we could go back, but
I look at the mist and I'm like,
I don't know that's a good idea.
I'll take my chances where I can see.
I think we go forward,
Yeah.
but the strong people go first.
Yeah,
I go forward. I start marching.
Alright.
I think I agree because I've been wandering there by myself for weeks now.
Better inside a kingdom than outside. Let's go.
So, as you all begin to enter these gates, you hear the heavy groans once again. As you see the gates behind you closing.
Well, that's not a
Ahead.
good sign.
You find towering trees whose tops are lost in the heavy gray mist, which block out all but a deathly gray light. The tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream. As you continue down this road, you catch the scent of death in the air, which leads you to a human corpse, half buried in the underbrush about 15 feet off the road.
I am drawn to it almost instinctually, and I don't know why, but you watch as Grimm kind of slowly walks forward, kind of like head starting to tilt a little bit as he looks down, and he kind of kneels down next to it and kind of raises out his hand and kind of holds it out just above it, and then kind of turns his hand kind of around and kind of looks at it. And kind of just is silent.
You can
You
see
good,
that
buddy?
as you approach, this young man seems to be a commoner. His clothes are muddy and torn and raked with claw marks. Crows
Can
seem to
I-
have been at the body, and it's surrounded by paw prints.
Can I see maybe how long this is
Sure.
lasted?
Yeah, go ahead and
I'm
make a
gonna-
medicine
I'm gonna-
check.
I would like to help him.
Sure.
What would you like?
Medicine.
Okay. Huzzah!
15. You can clearly see that this person has been dead for several days. And one of the things that you kind of find as you search the body looking for wounds and how recent it is, you do see a crumpled up envelope in his hand.
I go to reach for it, and then I kind of stop myself as I am about to touch the body, and then I retract my hand. And then I, after a moment, go ahead and reach down and grab the envelope from them.
Okay. Well, you reach the envelope and you find inside a crumpled up piece of paper reading, "Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Koliana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Kolyan Indirovich, Burgomaster." You see a spittle of blood over the letter as well.
This doesn't bode well.
Did you read that out loud to the rest of us?
I was going to ask the same thing, yeah.
I would have slowly read it out loud, yeah.
Okay. It's typical this place would be plagued by the vampire menace. Of course.
Can I roll to see what I know about it? Vampires?
Sure. Go ahead and do a history check.
History check. Can I give myself an
Well, I was
say no.
going to
I'm joking,
attempt to
I'm joking.
assist.
Sure,
Oh.
sure.
That's a 22. Anyway.
22.
Oh. You got it.
No, it was a 9. Anyway, what do I know? So, I'm assuming...
You know of vampires, though you know that they are undead. You know that they are blood-sucking creatures that feast on people in the night. You know that they are most likely weak to sunlight, but you've never seen it written like that before, with the Y. So it's kind of interesting.
Sus.
Yeah. You've never encountered one in your days, by any means, but you do know that they are dangerous.
Katya kind of pops up and she looks like visibly disgusted and kind of like mad. She just says like, "Come, if there's a menace to be taken care of, let's have at it." And I just turn and I start walking down the path again.
Seems a little bit more complicated than just a menace, but I agree with her. We should move on.
Is there anything else that is near this body right here? Or
Other
on
than
that's
the
left?
paw prints and pieces of flesh that have fallen off, nothing
This is the only thing he was carrying.
seems to be that way.
Okay.
We just
At least
take
it
his
was the
clothes
only
and go.
thing that was left.
Okay. As I'm holding like the envelope in my hand, I'm looking down, and you guys all notice that it's starting to emanate light from it, and I'm like looking at it weirdly. This is. Do things like this normally happen as well? I don't think I've ever seen I mean, I don't really know much, I guess, but
I wanna look at his hand and
Sure.
see what the hell is going on. Yeah, I don't want to make
you
any
definitely
informed opinion.
see. I mean, I don't know, Johnny, what you
No
want
check
to do.
needed. I mean, you're taking a
Okay.
look at his hand. What do you, unless you're trying to do something
Yeah,
specific.
No,
I'm trying to see like if this is magic or if this is something that I recognize.
Do an Arcana check.
Yeah.
I'll do one.
I would imagine he probably would recognize it. It looks like it's a light spell that I just cast, just not
Yeah.
knowingly.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
As
Here is my
this,
turn. I wanted to stay in character.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you're casting magic there, friend.
magic. I mean, okay.
If
One
he's
thing
doing
at a
constellation-
time, I guess.
So you are
Okay.
a caster.
Or you have
Interesting.
some latent within you, and Estella would raise her right hand, and 3 little dancing lights start to appear as the cantrip spell. Like, I can do it too. And she'll send the lights forward to kind of illuminate the 15-foot area.
Sure.
All right.
We all have our secrets then.
I kind of just cross my arms, and I kind of have the lit up envelope underneath my arms, or my armpit now.
You can will it to go away. It's quite all right.
Yeah. I
Do
guess.
not be ashamed. Light will be quite useful for us in here, it seems.
Yeah. I'll be working. I guess I'll try to figure this out.
Are you cold?
But. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I know. I'm not dressed very nicely, but it's
Yes.
just what
You're
I
also
have.
barefoot.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I don't think we should stay here much longer, though.
Does the corpse have shoes, by the way?
The corpse does have shoes, yeah. It's all
I'm
like
gonna
ripped
take-
up though.
The shoes are ripped up?
The whole
Oh.
body is like ripped up. It's
Oh.
I
been eaten
have
for a few
enough
days.
gold to pay someone if we can procure our way to a shop. Like we'll take care of Mr.
I
Grimm.
mean, you don't
think
have to do that.
This doesn't look like the kind of place where we'll find a merry-go-lucky shopkeep, to be perfectly honest.
Is the
Perhaps
mist
in the morn.
entrapping us still as we're standing here?
it seems to have backed off a little bit.
I'm like a few steps ahead, like trying to get people to like move.
Yeah, we're
like,
walking, we're
like,
talking.
let's
It's
go.
okay.
Yeah, we were probably heading out.
There's nothing to be found out here. We should keep moving.
I agree.
So, as you continue down this road, rain begins to fall even heavier.
Oh.
And the mist begins to return. Nearly
I'm gonna-
a mile ahead, you begin to see the outlines of buildings. A village. The first sign of life that you had actually seen since arriving here, other than yourselves. However, as you
yeah.
march on, the dense mist surrounds your group once again. And a few moments pass until you begin to hear quiet sobbing of a child nearby. As you approach this sound, you see the outline of a tall manor. Standing just outside of the front door, you see a little girl holding the hand of a younger boy. He holds a small doll in his hand and cries into it, and the little girl seems to be attempting to soothe the boy, but it doesn't seem to be taking any hold. And as you approach, she looks to each of you and says, "Hello? Are you here to help us?"
No,
This-
I'm not falling for this one again.
I am
Hello.
using Luna's wing to keep me a little bit drier. She's like,
Sure.
I kind of also, similar to the body, I'm slowly kind of like drawn to it, and I don't know why. As I kind
There's-
of push past everybody, but like keeping my distance between everybody.
There's a monster in our home. It's taken our parents down to the basement. We're too scared to go in and help, but would you be able to help?
So So these ones are actually children this time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
This time?
I thought you were children. I was mistaken. You're very
Oh,
small. But
right.
these small ones, they are
Oh.
children.
Yes, we are children.
Your parents, you said, are in the basement?
Yes, the
Parents-
monster took them down there. We were only able to get out just in time before they grabbed us, too.
Okay.
What kind of monster?
I don't know. I couldn't see. I was too busy trying to get me and Thorn out. And you can see the little boy kind of taking his eyes out of his doll to look at each of you and then going
Thorn.
back and
Oh.
crying into the doll.
Okay. At this point, Estella would have raised her shield to kind of be like an umbrella, and she'll kneel down in front of the kids. Like, all right, Thorn, nice to meet you. And what's your name, darling?
He looks up and back into his doll and the other one. My name is Rose. Rosavalda.
Rose. All right. You said there's a big scary monster. We're the
Yes.
type of people that get rid of monsters.
You are?
And
Did you hear that,
yes.
Thorn? They're gonna take care of the monster.
You
and
see
he looks
the-
up. Really?
yeah, and she'll
mean-
move her hair to show her amulet of Illustray, the drow goddess of the moonlight. My goddess believes in sharing warmth and merriment with the world and slaying those that would harm others. So if your parents are indeed of grave danger, then we need to first make sure you two are safe, and then we can take care of the bad monster. Is there anywhere near where you can stay?
We can stay, and they point over to a small, separate house. Seems to be stables, and
All right.
we can stay in there.
Okay. Stay with the horses. Be very quiet if you can.
Of course.
If you need water or food, I have some in my bag. And we will take care of your parents.
We just ate, so we're
Okay.
okay. But, okay. And you see as they begin to turn around and make their way over towards the stable, they give a quick glance behind them to look at each of you. Thank you.
Wait,
And then-
hold on. Wait a
What?
second. I'm not a big fan of the whole fighting monsters thing. But, Luna, can you go with the kids and just screech really hard if anything goes down, please? And you see Luna, this snow owl, full size, 1 foot higher, taller than me, just waddle. And just kind of stand there looking at them like, okay.
Sure.
Go
Yeah,
on.
I'll Estella, as she stands back up, would offer her arm for the bird to perch on.
Sure.
While all this was happening during that entire conversation and talking to the children, you see that Grimm went on from looking at the children to kind of just looking at like the upper stories of this house mansion thing,
Sure.
and just kind of looking at it, not necessarily intimidated, but just kind of
I'll
Almost-
come up.
absently, like staring through it in a way, like not staring through it, but like kind of just like dead staring at it.
I'm
By
gonna
a long stare.
come up next to him and kind of examine the house too, and I'll ask, "Do you see anything particular?"
I don't think so. I get a weird feeling staring at it.
I know a lot of this world is strange to you, but if you notice anything unusual, don't be afraid to voice it, okay? We can use your insight.
Will
Or
do.
perhaps I can shed a different light on things. And she'll get the cantrip dancing lights to go down, unsheath her short sword, and say Etherodin, and it starts glowing a vibrant moonlit purple along the runes on the blade. I find this is a bit more illuminating in darker spaces. And
Yeah, and it's like a
she'll start going
torch-lighted.
forward like it's like a torch.
Well, you all stand just in front of this house. You see a wrought iron gate with hinges on one side and a lock on the other. fills this archway of a stone portico. Sorry. The gate is unlocked, and its rusty hinges shriek as you open the gate. Oil lamps hang from this portico ceiling by chains, flanking a set of oaken doors that open into a grand foyer behind. Hanging on the south wall of this foyer is a shield, emblazoned with a coat of arms, which is a stylized golden windmill on a red field.
Oops.
Flanked by a framed portrait of a stony-faced aristocrat, and the mahogany-framed double doors are set with panes of stained glass and lead deeper within this manor, it would seem.
I'll take guard. And she'll step forward towards the door.
All right.
And
Nah.
would you like me to put a torch icon or an aura icon to...
Nope, it's all good. No
Okay.
worries.
I'm gonna whisper to Blaire. I'm gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna hold on to your back for a second, and I'm gonna grab hold and I'm going to look through Luna's eyes, just while we're walking into the mansion, just keeping an eye out on things over there."
Looking into Luna's eyes, you see that the kids are currently just kind of watching you from the side. Like, it's kind of weird seeing yourself on the other end of your familiar's eyesight. But you do see that they're kind of just cowering behind one of the doors, watching you enter. Seems to be safe.
So was Blaire and Johans going next, then after Estella? Okay.
Yeah, I'll wait to take up the rear.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say
Gotcha.
I was gonna go between them and
Yeah.
Katya.
Sounds good.
And before we enter, I turn around to Katya again. It's like, I think I figured it out, and I raise my hand out to your shield. You have a shield, right?
Mm-hmm. I kind of hold it up for you.
And I kind of like close my eyes for a second, and as I open them this time, you see as my eyes go from my like almost bluish silvery gray eyes to being like not solid black, but like kind of black, and you see as my
Like
hair kind of
smoky?
like, yeah, kind of smoky, and you see my hair kind of fluff up a little bit, and you see as my hand illuminates light from it and touches your shield, and now your shield is lit up.
As he has his hand up on the shield, you see as like your vision, all of you together, kind of like goes a little bit dark, like silhouetted a little bit. And the light seems to be cast, no issue.
Hey, I think I did it. I
You
did it.
Hey!
You did it.
Brava!
I high five.
Hopefully
Grimm.
you're okay with that.
No, this will be quite
As
helpful. Thank
as you go to high five me, I quickly move my hand and kind of like tuck it. It's like I don't think you should do that.
Okay. Air 5. It's a
My-
friendly thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Just whatever you do, I don't touch me.
Oh, if you don't like being touched, that's perfectly fine. That's okay.
It's not in your best interest, I think.
It's cool. It's cool. No worries. Go on, and I'll like turn around, make sure nothing's coming up or following us or anything, and
Sure.
wait for everybody to go inside.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do a perception check.
Love it. Why is my perception so bad? 6.
There's mist everywhere. It's even hard to see the stables at this point since you're getting closer to the house. But it doesn't seem like anything's like approaching you soon by any means. So you all enter into this house, and opening the mahogany double doors in front of you, you find a wide hall which runs the width of this house, with a black marble fireplace at one end and a sweeping red marble staircase at the other. Mounted on the wall just above the fireplace, you see a longsword with a windmill cameo worked into the hilt. The wood-paneled walls are ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs.
Because I'm still looking through Luna's eyes.
I'm just dragging him along.
Yeah, I
Oh yeah, I say
Follow
out
in.
loud to tap me in the shoulder or something to let me know if there's trouble. Because they don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Sure.
I just kind of explain it, just like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what's happening.
And you can,
Yeah,
you can just
wizards.
explain it telepathically.
Yeah. We all know what
But-
Find Familiar does. I don't really need to explain it.
You find multiple doors that have yet to be opened. What would you all like to do?
Well, we're searching for the basement. We start opening doors.
All right, where would
It's
you
a
like to go
smart thing
first?
to do.
There are 4 doors at the northern end and 1 door at the southern end, along with the staircase that goes up to the next floor.
So Blaire's gonna walk into the room, take a look around, and then she's going to reach behind her, grab Johann's arms, and walk to this door here.
Okay, going to the southern door, you open up into this room where you find seems to be a den of some sort. This oak-paneled room looks like a hunter's den. Mounted above the fireplace is a stag's head, and positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 stuffed wolves. 2 padded chairs draped in animal furs face the hearth with an oak table between them, supporting a cask of wine. 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum stand on this desk as well. A chandelier hangs above a cloth-covered table surrounded by 4 chairs, and 2 cabinets stand against the walls, one to the east with a visible lock on its handle, and the other to the north, no lock present.
as I was gonna say, as we stand and kind of look into this room, I kind of just look around the rest of this house. Seems as if the sense of death just surrounds this place. I don't like it.
Neither do I, but
Not any more
We are-
comfortable here than you are.
yeah, we're here to save some children. Possibly the parents if they're still kicking. May I make perception to see if we hear anything, signs of struggle on the floor? Like,
Sure, yeah.
that'd probably be more investigation.
No, perception. I would
Or
say
perception,
you're
right.
kind of getting down onto the ground and trying to listen in. Yeah, it's-
Fudge.
You can't hear anything on the ground. It seems completely solid.
The floors and walls are too thick. We'll just have to go in everywhere.
Okay.
Is
well,
the house lit or?
So lit.
so lit?
Well, between the
lit.
shield and
Right.
the sword, we're okay.
In here, you can only see the light that is emanating from Katya's shield and Estella's sword. Doesn't
Then
seem to be
I-
lit.
I am going to add to that since me and Johans
lit,
are going
though.
somewhere else. I'm going to do light cantrip on my halberd, so it's going to be like a giant light stick.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are all super lit right now.
We're,
So lit.
we're lit.
If it doesn't look like that room leads to anywhere, I'm gonna open up this door up top.
Well, first off, Blaire, is there anything that you want to do in this room as you open it up and find all of this in here?
I would probably go to. We'll start with the desk on the north, just see if there's any notes or anything.
Sure.
important.
I'll walk in that room as well.
You find that this one is the one that is visibly locked. It is a cabinet, even though the map kind of looks like it's a desk. It is a cabinet along with the one to the left-hand side of the map as well.
Okay. Would I be able to forcibly open it?
Absolutely you can. Let's get a strength check.
And I'll start examining that cabinet on the left side as
Sure.
well.
With a 10 strength, unfortunately, as you kind of try and pry it open, the lock seems to be too strong for you to break it. You could try and attack it. I mean, it's wood. But unfortunately, you're not able to break it open with your bare hands. Grimm, sorry. You take a look at the one on the left-hand side. Inside of here, you can see that there is a small box that, as you kind of open it, you find a deck of playing cards and an assortment of wine glasses. Seems to be the party box for when it actually got lit here.
Gotta have a party box, Andy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't seen anything going on with kids or Luna, right? Like
Nothing.
during this entire time.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the thing then. And I'm gonna look,
Okay.
take a look. I want to look at the wolves, the stuffed wolves, if I can.
Sure.
Like,
Investigation.
I want to put my
Natural
Damn.
20.
serious.
Natural 20. 26.
All right.
Beautiful.
Nice.
the
So
most useless natural 20s I've ever had.
you can tell that they are stuffed. They are, what's the word?
Taxidermied.
Taxidermied. Along with the stag's head that's above the hearth. All of this seems to be, whoever had lived here seemed to have been a hunter, and these are their trophies.
Do I recognize this as a species native to wherever it is that I'm from, or like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not the world, but the region that I was in?
No, I
Or
get
the
you.
mystic-
It doesn't look stark, like in a stark difference, like drastically different from any type of wolves that you've seen. It does have some different features. I'm not going to get into evolution and why different places have different things, but yes, there are certain differences that you do see in this type of wolf that, like the coat is thicker and the fangs are longer, we'll say.
I gotta say, the footsteps and the sound is just freaking with me the fuck out.
Yeah.
You say that this obviously it looks like some kind of hunting room where the trophies are. Are there any like daggers or hunting knives, it looks like, in this room, like on display or
Do a perception
anything?
check.
There was that sword earlier.
There was a
Yeah.
long sword.
That was in like the foyer, wasn't it?
Correct.
Oh.
22
Not too
perception.
Nice.
As you hear Blaire pulling the lock on the cabinet, you do hear a clink, clink, clink on the inside of that cabinet that seems to be some sort of metal.
I would try to open
Wait.
it.
Well, I figured everyone's looking at other things. The silent shuffling of, and you just hear thwack as I
Yeah,
start hitting the.
Sure. Let's see an attack roll. 22 to hit for 10 damage.
Jeez.
All right, that
Wow.
thing comes clean off as you just slam into the wooden cabinet. All of you get startled as you see a halberd just deep inside of this.
Hey,
And
this
I come
isn't our
running
stuff.
into the room, like, are you all okay?
Yeah,
We
I
have, like,
turn
one
around and
monster.
get ready to cast magic. Just like this.
as that
opened it.
happens, you see weapons fall onto the ground, seeming to be hunter weapons of some sort. You see 3 small knives that will be used as daggers. You see leather armor. You see a heavy crossbow, a light crossbow, a hand crossbow, and 60 bolts.
Okay. Well, you know, sure. The first time for everything, I guess. I go over there and I guess I kind of look at the daggers and then I look at the leather armor and I'm kind of like trying to figure out what to start with. And then I slowly start putting on the leather armor over my super tattered clothing.
Yep.
Like, well,
Yeah.
So does the
So you
leather
will-
armor have boots?
The leather armor does not have boots. No.
Not
Still
this time.
bootyless.
Still barefoot.
Damn.
Still no booties. But you now have armor, leather armor, and you now have 3 daggers, and there is a heavy crossbow, light crossbow, and a hand crossbow left with 60 bolts. To do with what you will.
I'll pick up the light crossbow as well.
Are we going to
Awesome.
be out of character? Are we going to be what's the word? Are we going to keep an eye on how many bolts we have? Like taking care of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm keeping track of the loot.
I don't keep track of how many you shoot.
Okay.
Because that's
I-
just
I
boring
think it's
D&D.
just kind of assumed that you pick them all up after combat.
Yeah.
I think
Unless-
that's how we've always done it. 'cause it's
Unless
kind of
I
a
say,
pain in the
hey, you
ass.
break one because of a cool thing that you do or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
There are games that matters. Not in this one. Not for me. I don't really care. So,
As this is happening in the den, Estella's going to go back to the wall and try to take the longsword to investigate
Sure.
it.
sure. Taking it off, it has a really very decorative hilt. It seems more for decoration than anything else, though. It could work, but it just doesn't seem to be like a warrior's blade by any means.
Yeah.
But it
more
is a longsword.
ceremonial. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a
She's
long
just
sword if
gonna-
you wanted to add that.
Yeah. She's just going to slap it on her back in case anybody needs it.
Sweet.
I'll
And you do so.
I'll take that heavy if no one's gonna grab it. The crossbow, by the way.
The crossbow goes onto your back with 20
Yep.
bolts.
I'll take that.
I'll probably take the light crossbow, actually, if that's fine with everyone else. Or did
Grimm-
Grimm want it?
Grim took the
I
light
was
crossbow.
taking the light crossbow.
There is a
Oh,
hand.
yeah,
There's a hand one though as well.
Oh, there was a hand crossbow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are 3. So,
Oh,
So
well,
Heavy,
I can't-
light, and hand crossbow.
I don't think I can use the hand crossbow.
I think everybody can use hand crossbows. I think
They're
simple
martial weapons.
Oh, they're
They're
martial
martial.
weapons?
Yeah.
I
There's a lot of things that
I
would be surprising to you.
Here's what's up.
only have proficiency specifically on light crossbow.
Okay, here. Take
Literally.
my light crossbow that I already have. I'll take the heavy
There
and
you
the
go.
hand, and it'll be good that way.
Go into the compendium. One of the greatest things about Roll20 is that you can go into the compendium and you can just drag and drop into your character sheet, and it adds it like that. It's awesome.
This is usually where I'd
anyways.
say hashtag not sponsored, but we are sponsored.
Hashtag
We are
sponsor.
sponsored.
Hashtag totally sponsored.
Check it. So, as you all gather everything from this room, Katya, you wanted to open up this door?
Yeah, I'm gonna come back up and open this door up top.
Awesome.
That is so easy. I love
As
that.
you,
That's so
I know,
good.
it's great. It's so awesome. And it even adds an attack that you could just click on after that, too.
Yeah, I saw. That one just did it all. But
Yeah. So,
sorry,
Katya,
continue.
as you open up this door, you find a small closet. It's filled with a coat rack, and at the top you find a very stylish top hat. There are several black cloaks hanging from the hooks on the walls as well.
So this is like, okay, this is just a coat closet.
Correct.
Boring. I move over to the next door and open that one.
All right. And so as you make your way into
Can I
this
pause
one-
real quick? I go
Sure.
to the coat closet. I look around. Are there any shoes?
Roll for shoes.
Roll for
How do you want me
shoes.
to roll?
I do say you might want a coat. It is chilly out here.
Roll a d20. Let's see if there's shoes there. There are no shoes there.
A natural one for shoes.
First natural one, and it's just to see if you could find shoes.
I hope you're barefoot for the whole campaign and
That's
you
it.
cannot find shoes.
no
matter
Estella
what's
won't let it
hilarious.
happen.
So
I love
good.
it.
So good.
Okay.
Well, after you hear the slight from Grimm just next to you, Katya, you open this door to find inside a dining room. The centerpiece of this wood-paneled dining room is a carved mahogany table surrounded by 8 high-back chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. You see a crystal chandelier hanging above the table, which is covered with Resplendent silverware and crystalware is polished to a dazzling shine. Mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany-framed painting of an alpine vale. The wall paneling is carved with elegant images of deer among the trees, and red silk drapes over the covered windows and tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horses, horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf, hangs from an iron rod bolted to the south wall.
Sorry, what was that last part about an iron bolt?
You find a tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf that hangs on the right-hand side of the map.
Okay, but that is the paintings, the same. There's a painting and a tapestry, or the tapestry is
There is a painting
framed?
over the fireplace on the left of the
Got it.
alpine forest,
Okay,
and then on the right-hand side, there is that
looking.
hunting dogs.
Got it. I got confused because you said south, but it's on the right side.
Right.
Right. So south is to the right.
Correct.
Okay, that's.
I'm going to
interesting.
try as hard as I can just to say right, left, up, and down because...
No, that's fine. I'm just so used to north being up that I got turned around. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Cool. I'm gonna come investigate this tapestry.
Okay. Go ahead
I'll
and
walk into this room now as well and kind of
Sure.
just look around. Not for anything, just to be in there with him.
I'll
her.
probably push into like the middle of the group for protection.
Sure.
I'm about to walk up behind. Oh wait, no, you're going in there. Never mind. I'm following Estella.
As you make your way up to the tapestry, you take a look at, the fine details, and as you get closer, you begin to see that the wolves begin to turn into people. And then you, shake your head, and it's back to wolves.
You okay, Katya?
Grimm, come here for a second. Johans too. Come here. Come look at this.
That's me. All right.
I point at the wolf and I'm like, what do you see?
A wolf?
What do I see? Do I
Just a
roll
see-
for this, or do I just say a wolf?
No, it's just a wolf.
See a
Looks
wolf.
like a goddamn wolf to me.
I don't know if that bodes well or not.
What did you see?
I saw it change. The wolf
Can I-
changed into a man and changed back. You did not see this.
Like a werewolf?
I suppose
feel- I
so.
feel
yeah.
like-
But in the
Why do I know that?
tapestry. Well,
Can I do a check to see if it's like a magical tapestry of some kind? Or if there's if there's a trigger that makes it change colors or something like that. I don't know.
To actually see magic, you would have to cast
need
detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead and do an Arcana check, and based off of that, I'll let you know a piece of information.
Nah.
You've heard of illusions, maybe? I don't know.
Could be an illusion.
Blaire and Estella. As you're standing out here, Estella, you're opening up this door to the right.
Yeah, as her one hand's on the door, one hand's on the sword, I'd like to ping Divine Sense for the first time.
Sure. You open up your senses to see whether there are any celestials, fiends, or undead near you.
60 feet.
2 pings. 3 pings.
Oh. All right.
2 of them come from Katya, Grimm, and Blaire.
Well. I look
However,
forward to
as
getting
you're getting this sense,
Yeah.
you hear coming from the den.
Katya, we may need to fall back for a moment. This There's an odd growl coming back from the room you were just in.
Well, I'm not Katya, but we could go back and check.
Sorry, Blaire. Pardon. I will learn. It takes me a while to learn a new song, but I'll learn. But yeah, she'll go ahead and take a 5-foot step around to gear up in case something comes launching out of the room.
You get yourself ready.
Want to like brace behind the door to like.
Sure.
Ready
yourselves.
Do I hear the sound outside?
You guys don't. That door is still closed.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because we.
Or I guess it would have been open. I guess it would have been open. I'm sure you guys would have came around. But nothing happens.
That's mighty fine tapestry right there.
I just see everybody like.
We're just admiring.
Okay.
Great work.
That's so beautiful.
This reminds me of my favorite artist, Van Gogh.
They use of dark colors to accentuate the white fur of the.
I'm gonna walk over to the north side of the room. Was that you say that was like a fireplace type, furnace type thing?
Yeah.
Does it go up at all or down, or is it just kind of like a stationary?
You're looking
thing?
at the chimney.
Well, I'm kind of just looking. I'm just looking at it, like the outside of it first, and then I was going to progress, kind of just inspecting.
So it looks like a regular hearth. It looks like there's a fireplace, and yes, there does seem to be a chimney. But just above the hearth, which like the top of the hearth, that stands maybe around 5 feet, 6 feet. You see a painting of an alpine vale. And as you kind of look up, you see bats flutter through it, and then you blink and it's gone.
These pictures are moving, I think.
So you see it too now?
This one over here had bats flying through.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's not common as well for paintings to move.
No, they should not be doing that.
Painting, by the way. Take a look at it, see if anything happens.
Nothing.
Can I sort of look behind this tapestry? Kind of like pull it up.
Sure.
Take a look
Regular
behind
wall. Regular wall.
I do not like this place.
All right. Estella just kind of goes tense, seeing like nothing happened, nothing came out of the den, and just kind of raises her voice. All right, either someone is pulling a funhouse pranks on us, or there's other magic afoot. I can't quite pinpoint it. But from what I can tell, we all have different skills that are going to help. Let's gather back up.
What?
Can I peek into this room just from around the corner of the door?
Yeah. And as you do, nothing happens. You find the room exactly the way you left it, with the broken-ass cabinet on the ground and unmoving
We'll blame the monster.
wolves.
Can I go through this door instead of going around? I'm just gonna
Sure.
come through here.
Well, it was open anyways,
It was?
but
Okay.
yes.
So as I step out into the room, I'm gonna move there, just into the middle of the group.
Yeah,
again.
you're making sure that you're in the middle of everybody.
The squishy. Protect the squishy.
We're looking
But
for
I'm
stairs.
trying to be subtle and smooth about it. I'm just like, how's everyone doing? Yeah, I'm just gonna sit there.
Did anybody find stairs going down?
Not yet.
Well, these stairs look like they go up, so
Well,
They
let's
look like that, don't they?
let's try the ground floor before we go up, and then I'll come up and open this door.
Sweet.
It's
As
a
you make your
bathroom.
way into here, you find it is a kitchen. That is not a toilet.
I thought that was a toilet
it is.
for sure.
It is an
That's why
oven.
it said bathroom, yeah.
Inside of here, it is a tidy kitchen with
I was about to
dishware.
pee in the oven for real.
Right. It's a kitchen that is very tidy with dishware, cookware, and utensils neatly placed on shelves, a work table that has a cutting board and a rolling pin atop it, and a stone dome-shaped oven stands near the top
Debatable.
wall. It's bent iron stovepipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling, and behind the stove you see to the left is a thin door leading to what you can tell just as it's slightly ajar, a well-stocked pantry.
Is this a door I'm meant to see as well?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Can
do
I-
see a small dumbwaiter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Teeny dumb waiter.
Smarter waiters.
I'll call back and I'll say, well, there's...
You now have disadvantage on your next ability check just because of that.
You made the mistake of thinking me for this job. My joke's
Yeah, alright, never mind.
I peek my head and I say, I found the kitchen and another way to go up if you would prefer. And I come back out.
What's the
Just
way to go
staring
up?
at Johans.
And I just like look. I say, it should be able to fit either one of you. And I like look over at Blaire too.
But does it fit the halberd?
Afraid not.
We could send it up after.
Well, I don't know that would
saying
be.
it's a bad idea. However, I'm not particularly fond of small spaces that take me away from light.
I think it would be best if we stick together for the time being.
Smart words.
I
to be honest.
agree.
I agree. We should listen to her.
I think if we do run into anything that might be dangerous, like the monsters, I think having more of us
For
would be
sure.
best.
I agree.
Stella, would you like to take the lead? Or should I?
Yeah, since we can't find a way down yet, then maybe there's something up on the further levels. She'll cross over and head up.
Actually, okay, well, yeah. All right, I'll be in the middle.
Okay. So you all begin to ascend the stairs.
I'm gonna, as we walk up the stairs as well, I'm going to
I guess I'm
cast
just
light.
tailing Blaire. Sorry.
The
On-
boot prints,
on-
are you going up the stairs right now?
What? No, I'm gonna cast light on my one of my daggers. Or
Sweet.
yeah,
Yeah, so you're holding it out kind of like a torch just in front of
yeah.
you. And you find
I should have brought a light spell. Probably should.
How many lights can you have going at once?
you can have as
It
many
just-
as you want. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, really?
It's just,
Oh,
You just
okay.
have to
Cool.
It's not a
concentrate on it.
concentration.
No, it's not
Oh,
even concentration.
okay.
Yeah,
I
light's
thought
not
I
even
was- I thought I was
it
gonna
lasts
have to
for
light
an
a
hour.
torch, but sick.
Yeah.
I'll keep my
Yeah, it's
light
pretty
shield
sweet.
then.
Yeah. So,
Here, light my spell book.
Can you?
Yeah.
Are you a caster as well? Is that what this is?
Oh, yeah.
You can't
I
cast
do-
light
I-
yourself?
I'm a master of different types of magic. Not everyone does the same thing. Just so happens that everyone kind of outshines me at this particular moment.
I shine up your book with a casting of light. I think I'm getting kind of good at this.
You're doing mighty fine.
You're gonna light up this whole fucking house.
Just walking by each of the things, light, light.
So, as you ascend these stairs, you find unlit oil lamps are mounted on the walls of this elegant hall. Hanging above the mantelpiece just ahead, you see a wood-framed portrait of a family, which you can clearly see in a small plaque just underneath. The Durst family.
Durst.
Just on Durst. D-U-R-S-T.
Sorry.
Jonny, to correct your description as we walk to this floor. I mean, are the lamps along? That was terrifying.
You hear from one of the doors to the left, or actually to the bottom. You hear a sharp musical instrument sound.
That's not scary
As
at
we
all.
walk up these stairs, did you say that the lamps are on the stairs as well?
No,
Okay,
they are not.
they're only up in this upper area.
Up in the hall, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll follow people as what they're doing, but my plan would be as we fill in this area to start lighting those little lamps with light.
Sure. As you do, you find that this portrait is of the Durst family, Gustav, Elizabeth Durst, and their two smiling children just in front of them, Rose and Thorn, along with a small pup.
Fred.
Gustav does not have a smile, and you can see a hint of scorn in Elizabeth's eyes looking towards him.
Hey, Google.
Standing suits of armor flank these wooden doors on the bottom and top of the map. And each suit of armor clutches a spear and a visored helmet shaped like a wolf's head.
Dope.
The doors are carved with dancing youths, and you see that the red marble staircase that had started on the first floor continues its upward spiral with a cold draft coming down.
And the keyboard came from this room
This
right here?
bottom place.
This.
As soon as that painting comes into view, I'm gonna stare, like, keep eyes on it, watch for any changes. I'm just gonna stare at this painting.
Do a perception check.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye out.
18.
Nice.
18.
Better.
Nothing seems to move.
All right.
I see Katya
I'm
looking
watching
at this painting. It's like, I never knew you were such an art lover.
I'm liking it less and less every minute.
All right.
I'm
I'll
looking
go.
at these suits of armor that are here, almost like intrigued, like the bodies as well, and the house I was looking at earlier, kind of just a long stare. I'm just looking at them. I'm going to use one instance of Eyes of the Grave. Why not?
Sure.
As I kind of just, my eyes kind of light up again, and it almost happens through instinct as I'm looking.
Sure. And you see, just next to you, something pop up. As you see Katya. Very faint.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Learning so much about everybody.
Well, I'm not one to wait around for the boogeyman, and she's gonna try that door that had the noise.
As you do, you hear the musical instrument start again. And then as you open, it goes away. Inside of here,
away from the door.
inside of here, you find a conservatory. You find gossamer drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Upholstered chairs line the wall, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. You can see a harpsichord with a bench rests in the bottom left corner of this map, and near the fireplace you see a large standing harp. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece.
Charming. She'll walk further in to, like, again, paying of divine sense.
Sure. As you do bring out your senses, you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Did anybody hear that?
You hear as a bottle falls down from the first floor.
Wait, was that a DM joke or was it like a legitimate thing?
No, that was a joke.
Okay, because I was about to run to the other side of the room.
You closest to the stairs.
I can't move a lot, but I can move that distance fast.
Alright, whatever made that noise isn't in here any longer. Something wants attention, or to draw us
What?
somewhere. No.
As you turn around and begin to make your way out of this room, you begin to hear a light playing of the harp. Ping, ping, ping. Just a few notes.
Turn back around.
Nothing's there.
Sometimes I love magic, sometimes it just creeps you the fuck out. And she'll rejoin the others. Alright,
Okay.
try the other one when you're ready, Miss Blaire.
I open it with a force to kind of like get a surprise on anything.
Sure,
inside.
sure. All right. Let's open this area up. We got that. So, as you open up this door, you find inside a library. You see red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-backed chair face the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are 2 overstuffed chairs. Floor to ceiling bookshelves line the right-hand side of the room, holding hundreds of tomes. And you can see a rolling wooden ladder allows one to more easily reach the high shelves.
I'm following Blaire because she seems like the strongest physical character. And when I see this, I just immediately book it for the bookshelves. I'm checking as much as I can with
Your fear dissipates as your inner nerd.
I'll follow him into the library.
You hear the harpsichord go again. But
shut up! I'm trying to read. Mom.
Right. So you enter into this area to find hundreds of books. Johans, you take a look at the bookshelf. What is everybody else doing?
I finally come to, and I snap out of it as I've been staring at this armor. How long was I doing that?
About 10 seconds.
A few moments.
Felt like longer.
Odd.
Yeah.
Can I... But if I manage to get to it before Johans does, can I try to find a book about, like, the current area we're in? Like, the country we're in,
Sure.
surroundings, Barovia, I guess.
Go ahead and do an investigation check.
Okay. How is that stat? That's decent. 17.
17.
I think...
You don't find anything that seems to be speaking of Barovia or anything of that nature. You find an interesting book, though. You find a book titled Life of Katya.
What? I'm just gonna pocket that for later.
Okay.
Do I find anything that could be of use to me?
You end up just going through all of these books and kind of taking a look, and as you make your way towards the very top corner of this area, you begin to pull off a book, and as you do, it clicks. And when that happens, you see the bookshelf open towards you. Just slightly.
That's like back here?
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
As soon as I notice that, I will run out of
Cool.
and just tell everyone. There's
Sure.
a thing back there. It opens.
Back there. Okay.
Blaire, as you're taking a look at the desk in this room, you see several items resting atop of it. You find an oil lamp, a jar of ink, a quill, a tinderbox, and a letter kit that has a red wax candle. You find 4 blank sheets of parchment, a wooden seal bearing the Durst family's insignia, which you had seen before, the windmill, and you find a few pieces of sheet music. It's titled Song for Elizabeth. However, the drawer is empty except for an iron key that you find.
I'll definitely take the key, and I take the sheet music. Something tells me I want to take that.
Sure.
Blaire also has this moment because she's just recklessly going through the desk, whatever. It's like not her property. Has this house looked like it's been like kind of? Does it look normal? Does it look clean? It doesn't look like anything's happened in here.
It looks really clean, yeah. Like
I wanna
somebody
turn-
came through and cleaned everything the
want to
night
turn
before.
to the people in the room and be like, wait up. The kids outside said a monster took them, but we haven't seen any signs of struggle?
Well, they said the monster went to the basement, no?
Yes, but if he has to go through the whole house to get to the basement unless we missed it on the first floor, where's the mess?
It's a decent
I'm saying
point.
something's fishy here.
There might be a little bit of something else going on, because I'm not saying it's related, but we did find a letter with something that sounded like vampires. Vampires aren't generally messy creatures, unless they're feeding, as far as I'm aware.
It's true. The monster could have come from underground or something like that, too.
That's another good point.
Well,
we really don't know anything about the creature.
We'll have to... We will be extra cautious.
That's
going
why you're all
forward.
leading first.
I'll go check out this bookshelf that Johans is scared.
Sure. As you open the
opening.
door,
While they're doing that, I'm in this other room with Estella, and I'm now that I'm out of, looking at this armor, I'm walking around the room, casting light on all these different torches along the edges of the room. Or not torches, but the lamps. And I start talking to Estella. So, you said you serve a god of some kind?
Elistre. She is a light goddess of my people that believes in spreading warmth and merriment and keeping spirits up, finding light in the stars, metaphors like that. But the main goal is to keep hope going, even in the darkest of times. And her chosen weapon is the blade, and she points out her sigil on her breastplate and her shield that looks like the dancing maiden in the moonlight. Usually with either a crescent or a full moon behind her.
What does serving this god entail? Like, how long have you done this?
I've mainly been a sage in practice, but she prefers combat or performance as a form of worship. I'm not so great at the singing, but I can honor her by defending those who need protection. That's my forte, apart from researching and, trying to complete a family Bible sort of thing. Speaking of which, it's got to have something in here about poltergeists and all this, and if I may try to roll a knowledge history or religion check about supernatural forces that could be at play here.
sure. Go ahead and do, let's say...
Or it might be more Arcana, depending on...
Yeah, I'm thinking Arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Nuts. I just having a blank. Nothing in the old family Bible about these kinds of things. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. She'll put the book back away.
I apologize for my questions. I hope I don't come off as rude.
This is part of why I even came into the forest. I'm supposed to be exploring and sharing with other cultures and learning from them, and you certainly seem blessed somehow.
I couldn't tell you. Last thing, it's all a blur. I remember waking up covered in dirt and darkness. After that, my memory comes and goes. I remember a village. I remember screams. And then I ran, and I didn't stop running. And I was in the mist for quite some time.
She'll walk up and put a hand on his shoulder. Focus on one day at a time. It'll come to you. Don't force it. And we'll take care of you. I'll you refined yourself. Let's see what the others are up to. And she'll go back into the other room.
Awesome.
I stay in this room for a moment and I kind of look around, kind of just receiving what she just said. And then I follow as well.
Perfect. Well, as we all gather back into this room, Katya, you begin to approach this secret door that seemed to have opened from Joe pulling on a book. And now we are going to take our break. So, everybody, we will be back here momentarily. Please stand by. And also, if you are a subscriber for our channel, you can partake in a cool giveaway that we're going to be running. We're going to be running a giveaway for a small sticker that we have on our merch store. You can find all the details in the break when we have all of the ads, but if you want to join in on this giveaway, all you have to do is type !misfits in the chat.
Is there a
but
hyphen
again,
in that?
no, it's just a regular
MIST.
right. I will type it in the chat once
Yeah.
once we're on break so that everybody that is a subscriber can
FITS.
join in, and so just like that. So anyways, all right, well, we'll be right back, so hang in there.
Soon.
The games we play are the stories we create.
The fortress doors swing open,
Every story is unique.
and the sound of war drums rises.
Sometimes our stories come to us when we least expect them. We need to be ready no matter where inspiration strikes. And sometimes our stories are told over great distances. No matter where your journey leads you or how your story is told. The games we play are the stories we create. Sirenscape can help make yours epic.
Sirenscape is searchable, fast, and customizable from any device with no need to pre-install any sound. Adding epic atmosphere to your game has never been easier.
Skullsplitter Dice has something for every adventurer. The dice that you use could be the difference between life or death. With over 15 styles of metal dice, a variety of class-based cases, and other gaming accessories, we have something for every gamer. Our products are perfect for Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, and more. Be the envy of your party and get yours while supplies last by going to skullsplitterdice.com. Again, that's skullsplitterdice.com.
All right. We are back, and we are finding the winner of the giveaway, which looks like it is it says Sarah Boozer, but you're a player. We're gonna give it to here, let's see. Theatrical Disney is the winner of this giveaway for that second roll. So congrats, you get the awesome sticker, and go ahead and follow that link and you can redeem it for yourself. So there's that, and with that, let's get back into this game. Katya, you were opening up this secret door.
Sure am.
To find what may lurk beyond. As you do, you find a very small, cramped room containing bookshelves packed with tomes describing necromantic rituals of immortality and life-stealing forces. A heavy wooden chest with clawed iron feet stands against the right-hand wall, its lid half closed. Sticking out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor. Its right arm seems to have triggered some sort of trap, while the left hand holds a letter with a raven's crest on it.
Do you see anything in there?
Nothing comforting. Can I, Johans, will you go grab one of those daggers from Grimm for me real quick?
One of those what now?
The dagger. Oh, shit, sorry. Go grab a dagger.
I just hand over mine. I have a dagger.
I don't know why I don't have a dagger. Always have a dagger when you're adventuring. Anyway, I'm gonna throw the knife at the chest. And just try and trigger anything else that might be in here.
Go ahead and do a dex check for the throwing of the dagger.
Sure. 22.
22. As you do, it goes right into the chest, and it seems that nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any interesting stuff in there that you can see?
There's a chest and some books on necromancy. I think it's...
I feel like I know that word. What is that?
I'm gonna take a step back and I'm gonna say I think it's safe if you want to investigate.
What is that word?
It is magic that deals with reviving the dead.
I'm gonna grab I'm gonna look at the book first just to make sure there isn't any funny business.
There is no book. It is only a letter.
No, there's books on the shelves, right?
You said there were something about
necromancy? Yes. You are right, yes. There are books on the shelves. And yeah, you can pull one. And go ahead and do an Arcana check.
Dogs.
You're good.
The puppers.
15.
Nice.
With that 15, you're kind of going through it, and with your arcane knowledge, you can tell that a lot of this is kind of hearsay. A lot of like folk tale. Not a lot of like real hardcore arcane.
So it's not like a cookbook
rituals.
It's or anything.
It's like a conspiracy theory type of book
compilation.
Right. Yeah. Right. If you do this, it brings back this and stuff like that. But you can clearly tell as you flip through it, they're not
This is not professional.
Yeah, not professional whatsoever.
Do you mind if I take a look at that?
Oh yeah, it's fucking useless here.
I'll back out and make way for other people to come in.
Johans, as you hand the book over, you feel like a cold sensation in your hand, and then you pull away.
Just a cold sensation.
Sorry, and I shuffle past everybody, and I kind of take it to the desk. I think over here.
Sure.
Or not like right there. Yep. And I kind of just put it on the table, and I start looking through it. Just reading it.
Sure.
You said there was a letter as well?
There is. Inside of this chest that's on the right-hand side of this room, you find a skeleton that has one arm inside of the chest and the other arm clutching onto a rolled paper with a crest of a raven on it.
Okay, I'm gonna step out of the room. And I'm going to cast Unseen Servant.
Okay.
And I'm gonna summon Jeff, so that Jeff can bring me the.
I should have known.
I want him to look in the chest and pick up whatever's in it, and then bring me the scroll.
Perfect.
The letter.
Jeff with how many Fs? Very important.
This one's just the one.
Just
The
Single
original.
to start out.
Good to know.
It's a new campaign.
Yeah.
New
As we
Jeffs.
make more, maybe.
Of course.
Every time you cast the spell, it's another F.
That makes sense.
I cast
Actually,
Jeff.
wait, hold on.
Jeff.
I'm going to, actually, you know what? That's gonna be a canon for now. I'm gonna step out of the outside. I'm gonna cast it as a ritual spell instead.
Okay.
I'm gonna just tell everyone, just give me a second. Got something to do. I'm gonna sit in the corner and just
Sure.
ritual spell it because I don't want to waste my.
Sure. So after 10 minutes, what is everybody else doing as you were told by Johans to hold?
I am looking at all the little tokens on the desk and seeing
Sure.
what was valuable, like going over the key, the sheet music, and
Sure.
etc.
I am thoroughly just reading through this, trying to understand necromancy in a way that to understand myself.
Sure.
In a way,
Go do a insight check. Okay.
Wow. Nice.
With
Good
a
roll.
24, you're starting to understand what the point of necromancy is. You can tell that, I guess in your mind, you're thinking that necromancy is specifically focused on bringing things back from the dead. Especially, that's what this book is really aiming to do, along with stealing life force from other things.
I think that's the other part that is triggering my mind is trying to understand why and how that's possible. Right. Not that I expect to necessarily find that answer, but that's the part that catches me is the stealing people's life force almost.
Right. You don't find the answers as to why it happens. You do see, there are bits of notes here and there saying, well, if we do this, this is the reason why it steals the life force. But as you take everything with a grain of salt, since Johans had just told you that it's a bunch of bullshit, instead of taking the actual content, you get the overall feeling of what necromancy is, and you kind of take that into yourself.
And then as I kind of look at and understand, or, am reading things about specifically bringing people back to life or just more life transference, and almost in a way, I'm kind of looking at my own hands, and I'm kind of just as if I'm looking at them for the first time. And then I kind of slowly close the book as people are finishing up their things. And I want to say, hey, does anybody have something? Can we put this maybe
I'll take it from him and put it in the
You
pack
also feel
for him.
your hand kind of get cold.
I was gonna say I have books. But you can.
If you want to, either one of us can hold here. You can. Should I? Do you want? I can. Do you want it?
It's okay.
All right. I'll just. I put it in my bag.
I'm gonna keep casting.
So, after this awkward conversation between Katya and Johans, Estella.
Yeah. Noticing the sheet music, putting two and two together with the portrait name, she's going to take the sheet music back over to the harpsichord and try to play the first page.
Sure.
See what happens.
I'm going to follow. Because that
Blaire,
sounds interesting.
Following. Sounds good. Katya, while this is happening, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna hang out and wait for this ritual to be done, wait to see what's in the chest and that letter.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll come into the middle here and I kind of have eyes on Estella and Blaire,
Good
but
plan.
also
Good
these
plan.
two.
As you're beginning to walk your way out of the room, you hear a book fall onto the ground behind you.
What book?
As I'm standing there, do I see this in front of me too? Or
Yes, you would see that. Yeah.
And I'm too focused on my spellcasting to really
And-
watch what's on.
Yeah, you're kind of like you take a look over, you see the book fall, and then you just continue casting. But Katya, you take a look at this book, and it's the same book that you had put into your bag before. Life of Katya.
Yeah, like, oh, how did that happen? I pick it up. Is the one in my bag?
No longer there.
Okay, I put it back in my bag. I'll say, I'll get to you later. Relax. Close my bag back up.
Cool. And you exit the room, and you stand there, just as Estella flips her little coat behind her and sits down onto the bench of the harpsichord.
real
And-
quick.
Yes.
While they're going over there to play instruments, are there any windows in this room at all too?
In the room that you are currently in,
Yeah.
the library, yes, there are.
While they're doing
Multiple
that, I'm gonna
windows.
be just kind of looking out the window. I'm sure it's probably misty, but that's what I'm doing
Sure.
after I handed off the book.
Moving the drapes out of the window, you just stare at outside to find, yes, mist. Completely covering the surrounding area and crawling up this manor, like crawling hands trying to grasp onto you. But that's what you see outside. Estella, I would like you to do a performance check.
You got it.
And as you sit onto this harpsichord, you begin to hear the harp beginning to play. Though it's not the lead. It seems to be, with your musical knowledge, the... Oh, I had the word and then it
Accompaniment.
disappeared. Oh my gosh, I had it again.
Harmony?
Nope, harmony. There you go. The harmony end.
Gotcha.
You begin to play onto the harpsichord, and it seems that this harpsichord is out of tune. And as you try to play, it's just hitting wrong notes, and it's not that you don't understand how to do the sheet music, you know, but then suddenly, as you hit one last bad note, you see as a ethereal creature appears just next to the harpsichord, looking towards you with anger in their eyes, and just bursts forward towards you. And as you put your shield and sword up, you see it rake across the chords of the harpsichord, breaking every single one, and then disappearing.
Oh.
Just before getting into you.
I would rush into the room after I hear this.
It's more angry at the instrument than the player.
Is everything okay?
That's new.
I heard violence.
Yes, I summoned a specter by playing bad music.
I draw my sword.
It's very intriguing.
Katya, as you enter this room, the doors behind you close.
Jiggle the handle.
I try to open. Yeah, I jiggle the handle. I try to open it.
And it opens.
Oh.
No issues.
Fall slow.
Okay. It was just the wind. Don't worry.
Must have been the wind.
Okay. Well, can I? Is there any sign of the spectral creature anymore?
Do a perception check.
9.
It doesn't seem that there's any evidence of it being here anymore.
Well, I certainly don't like the look of this, but if you see anything else, holler. I'll come back. And I'm gonna walk back out into the hallway.
Okay.
Estella would think to leave well enough alone. She can try the harp again later if she needs to, but yeah, let's see what the boys are up to.
Okay. As you return, it's just about at that time when Johans, you finish up your spell, and all of you
Come
see
forth,
this
Jeff.
You see this burst of arcane energy that just dissipates, and it was anticlimactic to say the least.
It gets a little chilly.
Yeah. Especially Grimm and Estella. Just next to you, you feel this, like it's trying to grab onto your warmth.
And I'm just like, Jeff, there's a back room. I want whatever's in the chest and the letter with the raven sigil on it. Bring them to me, please.
And as you say that, Grimm, you feel even colder, like something has walked through you. And you all hear the secret door open up, and then, after a few moments, you see coming out of that room... One sec. Coming out of that room, you see a rolled up letter. You see a few books. You see 3 scrolls. You see another 4 rolled up papers.
Jeff, put them on the desk, please.
All of it goes onto the desk among the other assortments.
I'm going to sit comfortably and I'm going to start looking through whatever this is.
Sure.
Starting with the books, followed the scrolls, then last the letter.
Sure. The books are finely made. They have black leather covers. However, all of the books are completely blank. There's no writings in it whatsoever. Nothing to even hint at to what their purpose is. You find all of the rolled up papers, one being a deed to this house, the Durst Manor. You find a deed to a windmill. You find a signed will. And you find a letter that seems to be signed by Gustav. And finally, you find a letter that seems to be signed by a Strahd von Zarovich. Which one would you like to look at first?
I'm gonna put the empty books in my bag.
Sure.
And then I want to read first the will, and then the letter from the name you mentioned. I can't remember. Dude, I started.
Gustav?
No,
sure.
No, yes.
The other one. Oh, okay, sure.
Sure, all of them.
The will seems to be basically stating that in the chance that both Gustav and Elizabeth Durst were to pass away, every material thing would be passed down to split halfway between Rose and Thorn. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it makes it's a will.
Yeah, right. Yep. The letter that you find that was signed by Gustav is actually written out here. It says, My dear Dimov, I must confess my nights as of late have been sleepless. The children question me of why their mother and I have often such nasty fights, yet I am too ashamed to tell. Margaret does her best, but Elizabeth warns the children not to trust Margaret. My beloved Elizabeth rarely returns to our bed at night, and I awaken most nights with nightmares of horrible acts. Over the past several nights, I've become suspicious of the ambition of not only the others, but of my wife. Their dark murmurs worry me, and though I know that a shadow ought not to fear a blacker night, I cannot but fear for the extent of their plotting. If anything happens to us, you are to be a steward of our parents' house and caretaker of my children. Keep our pregnant housemaid safe, and hold Rose and Thorn close to your breast. Should the worst come to pass, you shall be all they have left. And please, treat Margaret's child as if he is one of our own. Though his birth was not legitimate, I fear for a life without his parents, nor their names. Your loving brother, Gustav.
Okay. Could you dumb that down for my brain to understand?
Yes.
This is a letter from the owner of the house, presumably.
Gustav.
Who is having fights with Elizabeth, his wife.
Correct.
Because he banged the maid.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool.
To put it crudely.
Put it bluntly, yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah, maid got pregnant, and the dad and mom were up to some shady shit that the dad is very ashamed of. And he's begging his sis, hey, if anything happens to me and my weird-ass wife, could you please take care of the kids, even my illegitimate son, because you'll be all they have left.
Correction. Brother.
Oh,
so the
excuse me.
uncle to those children. But
Uncle.
yes.
I'm going to pass this information on to the others.
Of course.
I'm going to try a new accent for this, because I am still figuring it out.
Sure.
And then there's another letter, right? There were 3 letters? And then
Correct.
the wills and the deeds.
Correct. This one has an interesting crest on it. Very elegant and finely crafted. Of a raven.
Oh yeah, this Ryan. Man, I don't know what name that is at the top. I can't read that. It's very strange.
Oh, you read it at the bottom of this one right here. That says, My most pathetic servants. I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeons, know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say that you are cursed, your fortunes spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a stillborn son. Cursed by darkness, of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Strahd von Zorovich, your dread lord and master.
It looks like somebody's got a big head. I think we're stumbling onto things that are a little bit above our pay grade. I don't like it. I just pass information on to the others in the room.
Right. Does not bode well.
No.
Blaire out in the hallway is just like messing with the armor, and then notice that there's another door over here.
Yes.
She would like to approach it.
Sounds good. Here we go.
I'll walk out into the main room again.
Me and Jeff will follow. Sure. Because I don't like to be in the corner on my own.
Absolutely.
Because I want to stick with the group.
You find that this is a undecorated bedroom that contains a pair of beds with straw-stuffed mattresses. At the foot of each bed, you see an empty footlocker. Tidy servants' uniforms hang from the hooks on the adjoining closet to the left, and a small button is seen just next to the small doors to a dumbwaiter, which can be seen in the southwest corner of this room.
Is there, do I see this door?
You do, yes. That was the hook, the closet, basically, that held servant uniforms inside.
Any shoes?
Roll for shoes.
Well, we're rolling just a d20, right?
Yep.
I almost forgotten how to get there.
No shoes for a 2.
No shoes.
There's a 1 on the first one and a 2 on this one.
Next time it'll be a 3.
We'll get there in like 14 checks.
Right.
Yeah.
Any shoes in there are too small.
I just walk out and be like, no shoes.
Baby shoes.
Yeah.
We found one shoe then, and then another of a different size.
Yeah.
Find a kid's shoe. Put it on a toe.
Yeah, right.
Or on 3 if you're my size.
So.
Right.
Jeez. No shoes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure some will show up eventually. And as you guys are all looking at Grimm again, you see that he seems a bit more confident than he was before. Standing a little bit, more upright.
Good.
All right, so reassessing. We have a key. We have odd music to a very estranged wife. We know why the ghosts are mad. And we know something's happened to the caretaker of the children, most likely dragged to the basement, that we don't know how to get to.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Jeff, go find the corpse. See if there's anything interesting on them.
Wait, whom are you speaking with? Oh.
And Johan is going to gesture to the empty space next to behind him and be like, Jeff.
Unknown to you, Jeff is also doing this too.
Hell yeah. I approve.
You were talking about a corpse? Where is this corpse? Which one are you talking about?
The one that had the hand in the chest.
Gotcha.
This one.
The skeleton. Yes. So you want the skeleton to come out?
I'm sending him to do my rogue shit.
Of course, yeah.
I don't get my hand dirty. So.
You see a now physical representation of Jeff as a pieced together skeleton comes out very limp and just moving around.
Thank you. Okay. I would like to check the body.
Sure. This body has leather armor on it, but other than that, it is stripped clean.
It doesn't have any.
No shoes?
No shoes.
No shoes. Someone take the shoes already.
Did you have your friend check that chest that was in there?
Yes. I found the letters and deeds and other boarding.
Right, that's where those came from. I wasn't sure if they came from the shelf.
No, it came from the chest.
What else did Jeff find?
The corpse.
And you see the arm?
Yes, hello. Nice to meet you too.
But also, and I showed them
hand.
the deeds and the...
That is unsettling.
No, it's just Jeff, don't worry. Here's the other information we found, and I tell them the other information.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking
Alright.
back at these suits of armor, what are they armed too, or is it just?
Yes, they have spears. They have spears. Yeah.
Just spears?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, Jeff, please remove the leather armor from the corpse, please. If you...
You just don't use your hands at all, do you?
He
Johannes?
already removed it and gave it to you. That was the
I
straw.
think that came with everything.
Awesome.
Okay.
Anyone want some leather armor?
It could come in handy.
Leather armor. I thought you said letter. Leather armor, sure. Do you see the body just fall down and then slowly pieces of the leather armor starts moving?
I just imagine
off.
like the skeleton falls out and the thing just stays in place.
Right?
Probably. That's how
I mean, it wouldn't work that way, but
It could work.
It just
funny.
like lifts the skeleton up and then it just like
it's a world made out of you know what? I'm not even gonna try to finish that sentence.
it's all good. So, as you all come together on this second floor balcony, you feel the cold breeze coming down from the stairs, going upward. What would you like to do?
well, there's only stairs that go up, so I know it's counterintuitive to go the opposite direction, but
Seems
I don't
that's
see
the only
other
option presented.
I don't see anything else.
I mean, there could be a way we could do so. Actually,
Was it the dumbwaiter? Or are you talking about going down?
exactly. Yes.
So you want to go down in the dumbwaiter?
No.
I don't think anybody else is gonna fit in there, though.
Well, you say that, but
Could you
I've
send
got,
Jeff down in the dumbwaiter?
I don't actually know. But I
What
can
if
send
you-
Luna?
Called your owl, yeah.
That's what I know.
But then who would watch the children?
Each other.
You send Jeff
As-
out to the children.
Better
Can you
know.
call your owl from outside to here? How does that work?
I think so. How far away from
Not
the
far.
house is that I should be able to communicate with it, right?
Yeah, you can still communicate. It's not far.
I can do this. This is a thing like.
Magic is weird.
Indeed.
That's an
What's the
understatement.
veto? Is that even weird that I've got like baboon semen and blood of vampires on me? It's ridiculous. Don't ask why. It's not.
I wasn't going to, but now that you said
Okay.
that, now I'm more curious. But
No, it's
we'll
okay.
hold that thought, I think, for now.
Yeah. As they're all discussing, Estella's kind of looking to the armor, remembering the knife in her bag, remembering she knows how armor works roughly. Is there a type of check I could do to at least like make a bandage for Grimm's feet to function as like sandals? Like if I use the gauntlets on the leather armor and tie them together somehow, that way he's just got like bare minimum protection.
Clink,
Sure.
clink, clink, clink.
And there's like
Are you
this
going to
cloth.
leatherwork a pair of shoes for him right now?
I'm trying to quickly
Get some
fashion
flip-flops.
something. With paladin knowledge, like in my combat expertise and armor expertise, I should know how to quickly fashion something that's just going to bare
Go
minimum
ahead
protect
and
him.
do a. I would say survival.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, do these suits of armor
Hey,
have
bare minimum.
feet?
They don't have feet. No.
Oh, they don't
yeah.
have. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
they
they
have
don't.
No,
like
I'm
they have like
using
the
bits
foot
and
pad that
pieces from
goes
the-
over a boot, but it's no boot underneath.
Yeah, I would be
Gotcha.
using like several pieces of the leather armor to basically
Sure.
give you a leather sandal,
Yeah.
if this works.
So
Flippy
with a
floppies.
10, it's rough, but it works for now.
There you go.
I appreciate the effort. Thank you.
Yeah. It'll at least protect you from
I kind
stray
of kick my
nails.
feet up a little bit, and the thing you do when you test new shoes out, where you just kind of step around.
It's something for now.
Yes.
All right.
So
As much as I adore the dumb waiter idea, unless you feel very confident in Luna's abilities, I say we keep escalating and see if there's another hidden way down. We found one secret passage. There's bound to be another.
as much as I like the idea, don't get me wrong, it's a good idea to go up when we're looking to go down. I personally feel like a tube that goes from the bottom to the top is the best pathway to go from the top to the bottom. It's just a suggestion. We can move on if you want. It's fine.
The problem is that you're the only one that would be able to go down. We would have to leave
I'd
you
be the
alone.
only one to be able to see what's down there, which would allow me to potentially find a way up from there.
Fair enough.
You know, I'm not against this idea. I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's better to know what we're walking into, right?
Of course.
You send the owl down and we go up the stairs, and Blaire's eagerly just slowly backing up the stairs.
Okay, don't go
Alright,
alone.
should we do a vote then? It seems like we have a little bit.
Just go ahead and do it. We'll call if we find something spooky.
Okay,
Can
but
you-
I don't
can
want
you-
to
can
be
you-
left alone.
Can you see? You said you can see through the owl.
Oh yes, we are connected. We are magic. It's good. It's
Okay.
So
You-
can you see through both things at the same time, or can you hear too,
No.
or just see?
So your
I can
senses.
use my owls, my familiars' senses, right? All of them.
Correct. Yeah, you can hear and see and smell and all of them.
And
but
taste?
your body loses your senses while you do.
Right,
that.
but I can
Minus
be
touch.
like I can feel touch, right? That's the only one
Yeah. Correct.
that I keep.
You basically
That's
you go
all.
blind and deaf when
How
you go into
how
But
about
I can still talk to you,
yes.
and
Okay.
and you can still like shake me if there's something bad going on.
Correct.
Okay, then Blaire, do you want to wait and give him 5 or 10 minutes to do this, or do you want to keep going?
It should be
Yeah,
fast.
we'll wait.
I will go
If-
very fast.
If you want to go up now, I can wait with Johans and we can meet up with you
Oh,
later.
if we can keep going, I can do this as we go. I just think that maybe going up is a bad idea in general.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but we don't have a lot of other options. Unless we want to abandon the children, and I'm not particularly inclined to do so.
I don't think
I mean, to be perfectly
You begin to
honest,
hear-
the children are already kind of abandoned.
You hear a door slam on the door above you, or I mean the floor above you.
Yeah, see, that doesn't
Even
sound
more eager to go up.
Well,
Okay.
if you're
Fine.
gonna do the owl, I suggest doing it now. Because we need to do something.
We should
I
Stay
think
here
the
and
longer we
scout. Yeah.
I think the longer we stay here, I think we're gonna encounter more supernatural things.
Okay.
Alright.
Door slams below you as well.
So are you all just going to go upstairs anyway?
Eventually, yes.
I mean, I'm fine to stay right here if you think you can send the owl down and you can do it fast. But like I said, I think the
Okay.
longer we talk about this,
Give me like 2 minutes. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to go over to the double. I'm just gonna
Sounds
open
good.
and see.
So you bring Luna
Jeff
to
with
your
me, yes.
No, Luna.
your
Oh
familiar.
no,
You're
I'm
bringing-
not yet.
Not yet,
You can
okay.
cross that until I check
Gotcha.
them later.
Gotcha.
I want to make sure that she can fit before I get her away from the
Gotcha.
kids.
Yeah. As you open up the dumbwaiter, you see that the dumbwaiter is no longer, or not in front of you. You can see a rope that goes up to the 3rd floor and down
So
to
it
the
is-
bottom floor
so-
below you.
so
It's
would I be
currently
able
on the
to go-
1st floor.
It's
Yeah.
currently on the 1st floor.
Yeah.
Is there like a button to press? I don't know how these things work.
There is a button, but as you press it, you just hear ting. It doesn't seem to do anything. It just seems to, like, make a bell sound. But you
Yeah,
could
it
pull
wouldn't
down on the
work,
rope.
yes.
You can pull down on the rope. It seems to be.
You have to
like-
pull on it.
I'll just come back with you. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. The doorbell is on the first
Oh.
floor, and it takes strength, and I'm not very good at that. I just go.
Alright, Blaire.
I also don't know what the size of this is. Because I'm not vegan.
Yeah. The ladies are going up.
Perfect. So,
I guess I'm a lady.
Real quick.
yes.
I'm gonna hang back a minute and wait for everybody to go up the stairs, and then I'm gonna pull out the Katya book and flip through it real quick
Okay.
while everybody's going up.
So everybody's boots and leather sandals make sounds on the stairs as they ascend the staircase. And as you go through this,
Jeff, be
there's a
quiet.
lot of information. You start from your upbringing to the drastic change in your life to
Okay, so
when
it
you
is.
tried to leave, and it is very detailed.
It is
all
me.
the
It
way
is not
up-
a different Katya.
All the way up to the point where you see, and Katya pulls the book off of the shelf.
Okay.
Putting
And
it
is-
in her bag, she walks away, but finds that it falls onto the ground. Picking it back up, puts it into her bag. After a brief discussion with the strangers that she had met, a creeping monster begins to creep up behind her.
I fucking-
Unknowing, Katya continues reading in the book that she had found.
Have you ever seen the Never-Ending
then,
Story? In that
as you
scene where he
flip
gets
to the
freaked
last
out?
page-
No, I slam it and I throw it across the room.
Cool. You, for the briefest second,
That's
you
so
see
scary.
blood splattered on the book, and you close it, throwing it, and you look around. It doesn't seem that anything's there.
Okay.
That's
Probably
so
scream a little bit. Not gonna do it for our listeners, but I'm like, ah! And I throw it. I like spin around, draw my sword. I'm like ready to fight whatever's behind me.
Sure.
you okay?
Lean over the banister, like, what?
You need me to send Jeff?
Is there danger?
He's not strong, but he can be moral support.
I think
Bringing you all
for
over
now, I am okay. But be wary. There may be monsters. And then I'll come up the stairs behind him. I'm keeping my weapons out.
Perfect.
Blaire feels inclined to go through this door here.
Okay. What is everybody else doing?
Johans is moving there.
Oh, actually, let me describe what you see when you're up
Oh,
here,
yeah.
because I haven't done that yet. You climb the red marble staircase to its full height and come to a dusty balcony with a suit of black armor standing against the left wall. Something
Is
new
that different? Oh,
is seen in this area where you find cobwebs completely draping over this armor. You find oil lamps that are mounted on oak-paneled walls, which are carved with woodland scenes of trees, falling leaves, and tiny creatures. What were you
This
wanting to
place
do?
gets creepier and creepier.
I was
by the
gonna ask
minute.
if the suit of armor looked different than the ones that were downstairs.
It does. It looks
Okay.
a lot beefier.
Does it
Can
have a
I-
wolf
Big
head
boy
also?
armor.
You might have said
can
that
I
already.
do like an investigation on this thing?
Sure.
Like I don't
Go
know, to
ahead
see,
and do...
like to try to identify why it's different. If it's like maybe if I can like
Well, it's very clear to see that this armor looks to be better made. It looks like a better craftsman took more time into creating, like, the plate armor can, like, actually covers every piece of the person. The other armor seemed to have, like, little bits and pieces where there wasn't armor covering. You could see that it is ornate and very well designed as well. And you can see in his hand a better looking spear as well.
quick question: how tall is Jeff? Is he just normal human size?
I mean, it's up to you, I guess, when you cast
Sure.
whether it's a halfling or a.
I'll have him be full human size.
Also, I get it's a. Isn't it like a?
I hate you.
I think it's like a fey creature or something like that, or maybe it's not.
I don't know.
Anyways,
It is a
Sure.
medium. It is medium.
right, it is a
Specifically
medium
said.
creature. That's
Okay.
fine.
I wanna ask Jeff. Hey Jeff, can you check if there's nothing underneath the helmet, please?
And you see him lift it up, and
I
nothing
don't see
seems to be
anything
there.
because I'm too smart. Is there anything in there? Tap my shoulder 2 times if yes.
Okay.
All
Can
right.
anyone can help, please?
Yeah, if something comes out, we're here to protect you. It's fine. Just pick a door.
I would
Yeah,
not
big door.
recommend touching things you don't need to touch.
I agree,
Grimm-
that's why Jeff is here.
Grimm and Katya, what are you doing?
I'm standing at the top of the stairs, right at the edge.
I'm standing behind Grimm. I'm just fucking head on a swivel, waiting for anything to jump out.
Cool. Okay. So, starting with Blaire. You open up this room. And inside, you find, once I open this room,
Unicorns and rainbows. Let's go.
definitely not.
Oh, I was opening the. Never mind. I was opening the other one, but this one's fine.
All
since we
right,
see it.
well,
Not
here we
anymore.
are. You find inside of this room, dust and cobwebs shroud an elegantly appointed bedroom and an adjoining nursery. The bedroom contains a large bed, 2 end tables, and an empty wardrobe. Mounted on the wall next to the wardrobe is a full-length mirror with an ornate wooden frame carved to look like ivy and berries. Double doors are set with panes of stained glass that pull open to reveal a balcony overlooking the front of a house. Another single door can be seen through its dusty window to show an old and tattered crib. Floating on your side of the door, you see a ghostly figure peering into the glass. And as you open the door, she turns to look at you, and as she turns, you see it reveals a cut completely through the abdomen with contents hanging directly out of it from her corporeal body. As she looks to you, she says, "Shh, my baby is sleeping." She turns back to look into the glass pane door just next to her.
I, without my hands, because I open the door, my hand's still on the knob, and I just close the door back up.
Please do a stealth check.
Okay.
I bet.
All right.
Hey.
Very, very good stealth as you just...
I turn to Johans, and I'm just like, you don't open that.
What
I
did
agree.
you? What
Don't know
did you
happened,
find?
but I agree.
Now the door that you actually wanted to open before. If you're so inclined.
Yes.
All right.
The other doorknob was a lot shinier, so I got distracted.
Right. In this one, you find dusty shelves lining the walls of this room. A few of the shelves have folded sheets, blankets, and old bars of soap. That is all.
Nothing else in this room?
Nothing else.
No other cleaning products?
No utensils.
There is a broom in the corner.
Chop it. Chop it in half.
I feel inclined to chop the broom. Something about it frightens me.
It falls towards you.
I jump back. And I scream like a little girl.
Of course.
I move away from her. Just back up.
Is everything okay?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
Nothing.
You opened a door and then closed it, and then you opened another door.
Well, I mean, there's something in one room. I wouldn't... Alive isn't the right way to put it. But... So you know Ghost, right?
There was a ghost.
There was a ghost. She kind of had her stuff, and I'm like gesturing to like innards and stuff, just kind of just hanging there. And
Did it seem hostile?
she, no, she didn't seem like someone I wanted to mess with.
Well,
I don't do ghosts.
best to leave it alone then.
Some ghosts are sexy, but not all of them.
What?
Nothing.
Excuse me?
You see the skeleton that Jeff is holding, just finger guns.
No, he's only holding the leather armor now. He put the corpse down.
Right, but the leather arm. No, he picked the corpse back up. He picked the
How
skeleton
unlike
back up.
you to put a corpse down.
That does make sense. I never told him to put the
Let
corpse.
him have his visual aid.
You're right. He has the corpse because I didn't tell him to put it down. Makes sense.
Okay. Meanwhile, Estella's checking this door.
Sure. The bottom or the top one? I have to ask now. The bottom. All right. Inside of this.
I'm gonna move past. Also get up
come
here.
more into the middle.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm gonna move
Inside of
over
this
to the
room,
statue.
you find this dark room contains a wooden tub with clawed feet, a small iron stove with a kettle resting atop it, and a barrel under a spigot in the
Is
east
that
wall.
one a toilet?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
A cistern on the roof is used to collect rainwater, which was borne down a pipe to the spigot. However, the plumbing seems to no longer work.
What is this big?
Alright, general investigation, anything out of the ordinary, like
Sure.
a switch.
Yeah, go ahead and do an investigation check.
Wow. Mediocre. Okay.
An 11. As you kind of look around this room, it looks to be just a regular old bathroom. And
Yeah.
you kind of look underneath the tub, and as you do, all of you begin to hear coming from up the stairs as you begin to see wolves coming up one stair at a time and approaching each of you. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Can I?
there you go.
I want to. I was gonna say something before you got to that. I was gonna say, were there any more of those torches in this room? Because I would totally start lighting those up as I went.
There are.
If that was okay, I
That's
was
fine.
just waiting
Yeah,
for a
I would
moment to
imagine
say
that would have been the first thing that you did. So yes,
You're just having a good old time lighting stuff. You're like, yeah, I did this.
Oh, I'm happy that I decided to position myself smack
God
dab
dang
in the
it.
middle of everyone. Because that would have been
All right.
battle incoming. Let's see.
All right.
So I got a 3. Oh no.
Spooky.
So,
Oh, dang.
Nat 20 on the initiative.
Is that our second nat 20 for the night?
I think
Third,
so.
That's a
actually.
third.
Third?
Wow.
2 of them going
Snaps.
to Johans. All right.
On
So
useless things.
we have everybody in the initiative. Grimm, you are up.
I see these wolves. I imagine I can see they look hostile coming
Correct.
at us.
Yes.
It looks like they're about to lunge.
Looks like it.
So what I'll do is, like, focusing in, I will do Sacred Flame on
All right.
the first one in front of me as I kind of like I go from turning on the light in front of me and I turn around and I go like, "Huh!" And I do
Sure.
like almost a light kind of onto them is how I
So
see it.
as you're starting to light this lamp, you take that coalescing light energy and whip it back towards the.
and
the wolf
honestly, I
behind
think
you.
it's almost like more of instinct than anything.
That's
Like
kinda what I
it's
thought
not.
too, yeah.
and it,
It's
and
not
it
purposeful?
whizzes past Katya. Let's see if we can get.
Yeah.
That is a 12 for a dex save.
And it's
Probably a
14.
fail. Sweet. So it takes that 7 radiant damage. Nice.
And I kind of like look shocked at my hand, and as that it casts out of my hand, you saw my like hair kind of fluff up again,
Sure.
like with a blackness of energy.
As you shoot out that energy, light begins to flicker a little bit, but the golden light shoots out from your hands, and as it bursts into this wolf, you see as part of the skin and flesh of the wolf rips off, and what you would expect to see blood, you only see this, like,
Stuffing.
stuffing inside instead.
Wonder
However,
how happened.
that is your turn.
Yeah, and I kind of just look at my hands like really shocked, like all right,
Sure.
and
Katya.
that's my turn.
Cool. I'm gonna try to like, I'm gonna walk up and try to like block the stairs
Sure.
to make it more difficult for the wolves to come up, and then I'm gonna slash at the one that just got burned.
Alrighty,
I
sounds
don't know
good.
if I mentioned this in my character intro, but I'm a human fighter for the people watching. By the
Right.
way,
Yeah.
I
guess
so
we
I'm just
haven't
gonna hit it
really gone
with
through
my
any of those,
sword.
but-
yeah,
No.
I meant to,
Whoops.
and I spaced it. Not a great swing.
So,
10 to hit.
all right. You do not hit with a 10, unfortunately. So with a 10, you see as the wolf gets blasted by that radiant energy, you bring your longsword down with your hand, and it just goes right into the stairs right next to it as it leaps out of the way. Unfortunately, not hitting. Is
Sure.
that the end of your turn?
I'm just gonna post up here, put my shield up, and try to block the way as best I can.
Perfect. All right. That brings us to the wolves' turns. This wolf is going to move over to your left. As you slam your sword into the ground, it takes that opportunity to get just around you, and it looks towards the little boy, Mr. Johans. This one makes its way over to here, along with... Actually, let's see. This one's going to try and leap from that spot over to here.
Over to
And I'm going to do an acrobatics check for them.
Fail.
It's a 15. That's pretty fucking good. It
pretty
makes
good.
it over.
I don't suppose I could take an opportunity attack on it as it jumps by, could I? It's crossing that space.
Well, it's jumping directly diagonal, so I would say no.
Well, you gotta try.
However, this one
Sometimes
makes its
you
way
just have
up.
to ask.
Yeah.
Yep. This one makes its way up the stairs and goes for Katya. So there's going to be 3 attacks. One for Blaire, which is going to be a bite attack, and this one has pack tactics because it's within 5 feet of the other wolf. That is a 20 to hit,
Hits.
and that is 6 piercing damage. I need you to do a strength saving throw as well.
Oh my god, I'm so dead.
19,
We're
good.
so dead.
Johans
Saw that.
has pack tactics. That is 11 to hit.
It does not hit.
All right. So as that happens, and you run just behind
Save me.
Blaire, just as that wolf clips into the armor just next to you and does not hit. And the last one for Katya is a bite attack for a 23,
Yeah, that
dealing
hits.
10 piercing damage.
Whoa.
I need a strength save from you as well. Big
Sure.
hits from these
That's a
fake
big
wolves.
hit. 16.
All right. So as it jumps onto you, your longsword is down and
God.
it bites into your arm, taking that opportunity, and you push it off, ripping your longsword back, ready for battle. Brings us to Estella. Begin to hear snarls and bites and weapon attacks and magical effects being thrown. What would Estella do?
Definitely run back around the corner and...
It is full.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can move into an allied space to get a whack in, but...
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. You can shoot something, but even then it's gonna be kind of difficult to get through your allies.
Scheiße. Yeah, I'll do what I have to do. She'll pull back the... put her sword down for a minute, grab her hand crossbow, and try to get a shot in at the center wolf.
A 19, even with the +2 for the quarter cover, or half cover, sorry. That hits in 6 piercing damage, which is just enough. As it jumps at Johans and bites into the armor, you take that chance to right behind Grimm, and it goes directly through the head of it. You see parts of the stuffing fall out of that exit wound, and you see the wolf go limp onto the floor, dead. And that is that.
Bye.
Ending your turn, we go to Johans.
I'm going to use my action to disengage.
Cool.
And because I have halfling nimbleness or whatever, I'm going to run over here.
Sure. Yep. Easy enough.
Just going to run, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to tell Luna to protect the kids.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. Blaire.
I'm gonna
Getting
get
bitten
to
by this wolf,
thwacking.
get to thwagging. Let's see it. Halberd attack for 17. That definitely hits for 9 slashing damage. That's a very good hit.
Right on.
You see as you bring down the halberd, cleaving into this body, you find the fore left leg falls off completely, and you see stuffing just erupting out of the body. It is extremely hurt, but not yet dead. Is there anything else you want to do?
I think that's all I can do right now.
Cool.
So,
Grimm.
Yeah.
Okay. I will move slightly down
Okay.
to get better line of sight on both of them for now.
Sure.
And I will look at my hands, and then I'll try to go outwards again, and I will try to do what I did before on the one in front of Katya.
Okay.
Have a hard time saying your name.
You'll get there.
And
That is a
huzzah!
dex save
Yeah.
for 17, which
Passes.
it just moves out of the way, just as a
Just got a D4
sacred
of
flame
inspiration.
of radiant damage or energy shoots out towards the wolf, and unfortunately, it
So we
doesn't
got a
hit
D4
unless-
inspiration.
It's a D4 inspiration, which
I don't... Would it work in this scenario?
I would say no. I'm gonna go with no.
Oh yeah, it
There's
wouldn't
a-
work because
there's a
it's not an
specific-
attack roll.
And there's a specific one
Right,
for
yeah.
the DM, so I'm not going to take away from that. But
Right, yeah.
which person would you like to give that inspiration to? Go ahead and put that in the chat. That way we can have that. But moving on to Katya, unless there's anything else that Grimm wants to do.
No,
Perfect.
there is not.
Katya.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action second wind.
Okay.
And so I get D10
Take a few
plus
dep-
1 hit
Sure.
points.
Take a few deep breaths, regaining your composure for
So I
3
gain
damage back.
3 health points. I'll take
The
whatever I can
D4
get.
is for whoever is next. So, Katya, you got the D4.
Okay.
Katya, you get the D4.
Love it. I'm gonna... And that's on my attack roll, probably?
Yeah,
damage?
it's basically like a bardic inspiration. So attack
Okay.
rolls, ability checks, or saving throws.
Cool. I'm gonna thwack this wolf.
14 definitely hits for
good.
6 damage. Nice.
Nice.
So picking up your longsword, you stab into the side of the wolf, finding stuffing erupting out of it, and you pull the sword out, and a large yelp comes from this wolf as you pull your sword back out. But that's your turn.
So something I do want to say real quick, because we were saying that we were giving the D4 to Katya. Were we keeping that D10 from the one shot last week for Katya still, or were we?
True. Okay, so then D4 can go for
Yeah, I
whoever
forgot
else,
about that.
since Katya already has a D10 inspiration, or is it a D6?
Right.
No,
It
it's
was
a
a
D10. Anyways,
A D10.
Yeah.
right. So that's that,
Our lovely viewers gave to me. I appreciate it.
and that is your turn, Katya.
That's it.
Perfect. Comes to the wolves' turns. The wolf in front of Katya, of course, is going to attack you. And doesn't get advantage on this one. But it still hits for a
That hit.
21 for 8
Oh
piercing
my
damage.
God. Well,
as it
I'm down.
leaps onto you and pins your body down to the ground as it seems to be trying to go for the throat now. But that's that one.
I'm down.
You see as Katya goes down unconscious. This wolf is going to go for Blaire, since that's what it went for last time. That is another bite attack for 16 to hit.
Just hits.
Rolling hot tonight for a big ol' 9 piercing damage. And I need you to do another strength saving throw.
These wolves are
With a
going
natural
to
1 to
kill
a total
us.
of 7, which is great. Natural 1, you also go pinned to the
Wow.
ground with this wolf just above you and seeming to want to bite your neck. Estella, you see 2 of your friends go down. What do you want to do? And just enough room for you to go into the battlefield now.
I'm gonna get in the center and because Katya went down first, lay on hands, all 5 HP.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That is your action.
Yeah, so bonus action, I'll just hold the sword up as defense to the wolf attacking Blaire, and
Sure.
that's about all I can do.
All right. Johans.
I don't like doing this. But if I don't, we might die. And I'm gonna cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
Hey!
It's a good one.
Let's see those hits. Nice. Okay, before you
So
do the
that's
other 2, where do you want to hit for all 3 of them?
So I'm gonna hit. How do I know how they look, or am I going?
This
like,
one
to
is
general-
missing an entire leg. This one looks very hurt.
one on the
This
bottom.
one, the one right next to Katya, also looks really hurt, but this one definitely looks more hurt.
Okay, I'll send
The stuffing is flowing out of this one.
I'll send
at
the
bottom.
first 2 to the one that looks less hurt, and then the last one I'll send it to the other one.
Sounds good. All right, so then roll the other 2 then. Taking that 3 damage, that 5 damage you see as that wolf goes down just in front of Katya, and that 4 damage is just enough to kill the other one.
Nice.
So you see as all of these magic missiles slam into the wolves just next to each of your friends.
It feels like a breeze of really powerful cold air slams into them.
As Johans comes into this room, you see him pull up his hand, and shooting out from his palms, you see icicles going out and piercing into the wolves, exploding into this arcane ice energy, and from that, stuffing explodes from each wolf as they go limp onto the ground,
I'm
destroyed.
gonna do it.
That was impressive.
Yeah, look at you, Johans. You're doing great.
I'm pale, and I put my back against the wall and I throw down to the floor like.
Well done. Everyone breathe. Katya, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Forgive me. I usually do better than that. Thank you for your help.
It caught you off guard. It's all right.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I wasn't here faster.
That thing that you did, you touched her and you gave life energy to her?
Yes, by Illustrated's gifts, we have a small talent for healing. I can transfer a bit of energy to an ally or myself in a moment of peril. It only works a little bit right now since I haven't trained as thoroughly as others.
I look back at my hands. It's like, I wonder if...
Could you share some of that talent over here? I'm not feeling too good.
I'm a bit tapped, but let me see what I can do with my kits. And she'll look through her bag for like a medicine kit to help
Put
her
a
out.
Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, at least keep her stable.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's easy enough to do. It doesn't seem like she's going to be going unconscious by any time soon, at least. Not unless combat happens again.
I have to say, if our first combat encounter went like that, I'm very nervous how the rest of this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get better. The tank wasn't there, so...
Rolled like hell.
Well, your other tank is at 1 hit point, so...
Yeah, we gotta get you boosted.
I'm fine.
Did I get...
That's good. Good job, Johans.
Yeah, well... Oh...
Jeez.
The universe doesn't like me being congratulated.
Not.
Actually, hang on a second. Maybe I can...
While everyone talks, I want to take a second and look through Luna's eyes to make sure that everything is okay with the kids.
Seems to be that way.
Okay. And then I'll just come out. That was just a pop-in, pop-out job.
Sure. They seem to be just hanging out and just kind of watching the house.
Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, I used my whole pool, so... Nuts.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, well... I can't have anyone passing on. This house is spooky enough, it doesn't need another ghost.
Preferably.
It's so funny.
So the only thing I can do, I'm going to use healing hands on myself and give myself 1 more hit point. So now I have it 2.
Yeah, you all see as Blaire kind of sets her halberd down and her hands kind of cover one of her wounds, and you see her hands begin to glow with radiant energy, and she removes her hands to show that the cut is no longer there.
This is not fun.
No.
This is an evil place.
Yes.
Well, let's see if we
next.
Let's
welcome,
see if we can
welcome. Welcome to the new people that have just raided. We
Hey!
are deep in Curse of Strahd. So,
Hi.
so anyways.
Let's see if there's any refuge in this last room. And Estella will...
As you guys walk past me, I'm still looking at my hands a little bit. I'm just saying I'm kind of just still looking at my hands and then looking back at Estella and then just kind of thinking, but I continue to follow for now.
All right. You begin to open up this room, and 1 sec while I get the whole thing. As you do, you find this very nicely appointed bedroom. However, it is in disarray. 1 sec. You find that these double doors enter this room that have dusty panes of stained glass set into them. Designs in the glass resemble windmills. The dusty cobweb-filled master bedroom has burgundy drapes covering the windows. Furnishings include a 4-poster bed with embroidered curtains and tattered gossamer veils, a matching pair of empty wardrobes, a vanity with wood-framed mirror, and a jewelry box, along with a padded chair. A rotting tiger skin rug lies on the floor in front of the fireplace, which has a dust-covered portrait of Gustav and Elizabeth Durst hanging above it. A web-filled parlor in the southwestern corner, the bottom right corner of this area, contains a table and 2 chairs. Resting on the dusty tablecloth is an empty porcelain bowl and a matching jug. However, the most disturbing part of this is hanging from one of the posters on the bed. You find a rotting body of a human male, hung, and just hanging there in fine clothes. He clutches a paper in his hands.
Any shoes?
Yes, there are shoes.
By the way, I wasn't laughing at your narration. I was laughing at the fact that during that entire fight, Jeff was just holding the corpse.
Skeleton. Oh my god.
So just the image of everyone just like super intense in combat. Jeff just standing. There's a
Jeff's
corpse
like
just
backing
hanging
up.
there.
I imagine the skeletons like this.
For all of our new viewers, Joe Hans is a wizard. They casted Unseen Servant. There was a skeleton that was one hand in a chest and just laying there. So his Unseen Servant picked the skeleton up and used it for an actual like avatar for the Unseen Servant, and is just moving the hands around.
A scene servant.
And it is now a Seen Servant, yes.
And we named him Jeff with one hand.
Yes.
All right. With
All
a
hail
quick,
Jeff.
with a quick, determined motion, Estella's just going to approach the bed, say, "I'm so sorry for your untimely death," and cut the corpse down, shove
Sure.
it to the side, get the paper out of the hand, and holler for her companions to bring Blaire over. So, because at least this room we can fortify.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
There sure are a lot of papers in this house full of seeming to be corpses.
I'm just gonna sit in the
It's-
corner.
Well, better a skeleton that we can dismantle here than a ghost in the other room, if that's what Blaire said, but...
Oh!
I thought I'd turn that one off, but I guess not.
I hate you.
Speaking of ghosts in the other room.
Yeah. But Estella would make a moment to read the paper from the deceased gentleman's hand.
All right. As you take the paper out of the deceased gentleman's hand, you find that it is titled, "My Beloved Children. I wish I could do what all fathers do and tell you that monsters aren't real, but it wouldn't be true. Life can create things of exquisite beauty, but it can also twist them into hideous beings. Selfish, violent, grotesque, monstrous. It hurts me to say that your mother has turned into one such monster, inside and out. It sickens me to think that we've put you what we've put you through, what I've put us through. There is no excuse for what either of us have done. I only ask you, though I know I have no right to do so, to try and forgive us. Yes, I regret what I have done, yet I despise your mother. I despise what your mother has become. She's barely recognizable and does not respond to even your names. Rose, I wish I could see you blossom into a strong, beautiful woman. And Thorn, I wish I could be there for you. But I can't. This guilt, Margaret's screams, they're all too much for me. I love you, my children. Don't ever forget that. Goodbye.
What does it say?
So, highlights, Daddy couldn't live with guilt for what the mother had become, something about being a monster, regrets about not raising his children, and it sounds like he killed the nanny. Or the mistress, handmaiden, whomever. But, yes, that ghost in the other room is quite likely a scorned woman from beyond the grave. I think there's a tale about a banshee somewhere in my book, but, we definitely need a plan before we go and disturb her again.
Do you think, sounding like based off of the letter you described that you just read, do you think these are the kids' parents?
Most definitely.
The parents that we're
There's
supposed to be
Dad.
rescuing.
Yes, it appears we're a bit under a ruse. Dad is the corpse here. The ghost is either the scorned handmaiden from the previous letter, and something has become of the mother that's quite a monstrosity, and she'll show
That
the
might be
letter
what's
to
in the
everybody else.
basement.
What if that's the maiden that got and the babies in the other room that she was looking at.
Mm.
But the mother and the father are still around in other ways in the basement.
I suppose that's true, but what if those things that we fought also were the monsters that they are talking about?
The wolves? They don't seem to be strong and smart enough to kidnap a fully grown adult and woman, and they seem to be hunters, right? Look around.
Those were the wolves from the first room we were in.
I believe so, yes.
I mean, yes, I believe you're right. I think that's what they were, but what if those were the creatures that those kids were talking about? If those kids are telling the truth, were those even kids? We've seen and felt many different supernatural things here. Something's not right.
I'm with Grimm on this one. Something feels wrong.
This feels like either an extremely elaborate trap or some very misguided spirits need to be put to rest.
I can find out. My owl Luna is still outside with the kids. I can bring one of them in.
Yeah, as you wish.
Don't know that bringing the children inside is the best idea. There are monsters crawling about.
If you believe that there is a ruse going on, I don't see why we couldn't, right? The kids would be in on it otherwise.
Well, why don't you just see what's going on out there?
I checked right after the wolf fight. There's nothing going on. The kids are just there.
Can you speak through Luna?
No.
Well,
I only have the abilities and senses of her. I mean, if I speak anyway, you guys will listen to me. That doesn't really matter.
never mind.
Although, Luna is big, I can make her slap him with the wings. Bring them in.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Wing?
Luna can hit things. I think is what he's alluding
You're trying
to.
to slap the children?
I still meant to get them to move. I mean, we do it with cattle all the time. I don't see what the problem is.
Isn't it cruel enough that their parents are killed?
I think
we were talking about how they could be evil. I don't know. I'm just going off what you're saying.
All right. Either way, priorities. Blaire needs to heal. We need to figure out a way to the basement. Yes. And then we figure out what all these damned ghosts want with us.
I think if nothing else, I think you're right, Estella. I think even if those kids are maybe lying, if they are kids, if they're not, they're only going to lead probably more people here. So I think we do need to take care of whatever is happening.
Yes. I may not be as well versed in poltergeists as other types of clerics or those of faith, but typically if something is missing from you from another plane of existence, then usually they have a grudge they need to settle or bones to burn. There's usually some sort of ritual in these things. And as she's talking, she'd like to investigate the room further for like hidden doors, books to pull, any kind of sign of a hidden mechanism.
Sure.
Okay.
And my understanding, are you guys trying to do a short rest here?
Is that an option?
That's what she's suggesting, but we hadn't taken a vote.
That's fine. Okay. Nice. You take a look into this room right here. It seems to just be another coat rack or closet, I guess. There are shoes in here, though they are rotted, just like pretty much everything else in here.
Yeah.
You also find that this door leads to a balcony. And as you make your way out to the balcony, you see that mist is covering everything.
Yeah, Stella's not gonna fuck with that, and she's just gonna come right back in.
Is the balcony itself covered, or is it like beyond?
Balcony's open. Yeah, it's open.
No, I mean like by the mist.
Oh, no. The balcony itself, it's like the mist is crawling up with you. So it's currently up at like the second level of this house.
Yeah. If I go outside.
Yes.
Can I see the shed where the kids are?
No, it's on the opposite end.
It's on the opposite end. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we're taking a short rest, and I'm gonna plop myself down on the bed.
You would imagine yourself kind of bouncing a little bit, but it doesn't. You just hear a
crunch.
Yeah.
The least satisfying bed.
The least satisfying bed ever.
Estella's gonna shift her weapons a bit. She's gonna get back ready with her sword and shield position, hook the crossbow back down. Then she's gonna take that ceremonial sword back out and hold it out to the gentleman in the party. If any of you wants a backup weapon, this'll do in a pinch.
What are you offering? Sorry.
Yeah, that ceremonial sword we found from the first floor.
Oh, I can't use that.
Okay.
It's probably
I
twice
think
the size
I'll
he
stick
is.
with my small daggers for now.
Before Jeff fades, I'm going to send him down to recover my dagger, the one that was thrown into the chest that I didn't recover all that time ago.
Yeah. You see the skeleton just making its way down the stairs.
Yeah, because otherwise I have literally no weapons.
Well, that's what I was saying. Worst case, you could use the ceremonial sword as an improvised weapon.
He can't, though, because he's small.
And
it's too
Wizzy
big.
Boy.
And also, I don't have the...
Yeah.
I have like a 9 on strength.
Okay. It was a suggestion.
I don't know if I could even pick it up, is the thing.
That'd be funny.
Do we all get startled when the
It's
door
like Thor's
opens and
hammer.
there's a skeleton with a dagger?
Yeah, and you hear a
probably
knock
try to
on the
attack
door
it.
as you see Jeff
He just
slowly
shoots the
making his
finger
way
guns so we know it's Jeff.
and brings the dagger back to
Alright.
Joe.
Mr. Skullhead.
Thank you.
So, are we trying to do a short rest?
Could
Yeah,
we
let's-
please?
yeah,
I'd love
Blaire
to get
needs
a
her
hit
HP.
dice up in here.
I don't agree because this doesn't benefit me in any way. I'm joking.
Well, it doesn't benefit me either, but, I'm
You
trying to
can
be
go
Team Mom here.
Hell yeah,
Big
let's
money!
go.
Damn.
You can go adventure ahead, Johan.
All right.
No, thank you. I'm good. Thanks.
So,
14
with
health.
I'll just
our
curl up in a corner.
with our adventurers taking a short rest to recover from the wounds that they have just suffered, we are going to end tonight's session there and pick up next week at 7 p.m. It's
Pacific.
We're going to continue, 7 p.m. Pacific time. We are going to continue Death House and see what else lies ahead
What other
for
horrors
the
await.
Ravenloft Misfits. Thank you, everybody that joined us today. We are very glad that you have joined, and we hope that you enjoyed at least whatever you saw. I know that we got rated, so thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. Join us next week. It'll be a fun time.
Good time. Good times today. That was fun.
Yeah,
Enjoyed that.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
thank you for running.
oh, of course, yeah. I love this. This is good stuff. So, anyways,
Definitely had
all
us
right.
on our toes.
Yeah. Sweet. We'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.